Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It is a great day to be alive on this Friday. Getting closer and closer and closer to Sunday Night Football. Green Bay Packers against the Seattle Seahawks. My name is Ben Brust, and I have the pleasure of being with Kyle Wallace, our Packer backer today. No Brad Nortman. Say something, Kyle.
Oh, boy, I feel like Kris Kringle gave away $500. Just had me a good cookie. Game day is only 2 days away.
So because you gave away $500 at the Bucks Pro Shop, you thought you deserved a cookie like Santa Claus when he comes down the chimney.
Only thing missing is milk, but I'm lactose intolerant, so I gotta make it to 3 hours.
You know what? Can we get a glass of warm milk for Kyle Wallace, please?
No, you don't want them problems.
Running the show is Chris Larson, because our guy at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios, Alex Strofe, say what up.
It's Thirsty Thursday. Wait a minute. No, that's what Kyle says yesterday.
Freaky Friday.
It's Freaky Friday.
Oh,
yeah, baby. Come on.
Strofe, why are you bringing up old stuff? You know why he said that? It's because I made fun of him for wanting to hang out.
Old stuff. You do this. You do this every day.
He's so thirsty for friends and attention.
Why are you coming at him right now?
Because he is. Yesterday, he was like, hey, do you guys want to go hang out real quick? I'm like, dog, go home.
I said, do you guys want to go grab a drink? 2 of the 3 people I was talking to said, yes, we do want to go get a drink. And guess who was the poo-pooer, Benny?
Kyle.
That is correct.
They
ding,
felt
ding, ding.
sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you, you loser.
They felt sorry for me.
Yeah, they can't tell you no. They work with you every day. See, I can't.
They could absolutely tell me no like you did.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I don't care about your feelings.
You don't need. I don't care about your feelings
what is
either,
going
pal.
on? This is ridiculous. I was very happy to start the show, and then Kyle just started attacking Strofe, who's...
No, he started it.
No,
Benny,
you started it.
No, he started it.
Exactly. You'll notice when I'm not in the same room as him,
He gets real
that's when he
real
starts
fake
talking
tough.
smack. Right, fake
stop
tough.
it.
Now that I'm 90 miles west, he's all angry and, I'm way better than you, Strofe. Come on, Kyle, cut the crap.
Come on, now I eat string beans, man. I ain't worried about you. I ain't worried about you.
That is a good line from Kyle Wallace there, and you can get into the show, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776. See us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and of course, we're not on at ESPN Madison yet because Strofe had some conversation there with Kyle Wallace not doing his job as the producer at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios. All right, we have a poll up there. Before I read the poll, I want to know the pulse of Green Bay Packer Nation right now. I have an uneasy feeling about this game on Sunday night. I don't have a lot of confidence, and I'll just say it right now. I don't think this team is going to win on Sunday night. We can get into the details of why, but I am curious as to how others feel. Are you confident about this game on Sunday, or are you feeling weirdly uneasy about the matchup against the Seattle Seahawks? Packer backer Kyle Wallace, you usually have them to win. I don't know what you're thinking now. Are you with me or are you against me?
Man, I'm so torn about this game. I really am. Like, usually I have a level of confidence that the Green Bay Packers going into any matchup against anybody, they have a chance to win a football game, right? Like, I look at it and I say, okay, based off of this, they have a good ground game where the Packers defense has been able to elevate and, there's a bad left tackle they have or something like that, right? And there's these exact same scenarios with the Seattle Seahawks. But when I look at the overall season for the Green Bay Packers and I just think about what I've seen year after year after year, it would be a miracle for the Green Bay Packers to make it through a full season where they have no hiccups or they have no losses or a game where you feel like the Packers should be the better football team going to Seattle. You talked about it earlier this week. Mike McDonald is a new head coach there out in Seattle. The Geno Smith is an okay quarterback, but you have the better quarterback. You have the better running game. You have the better offensive line, right? You would think the Green Bay Packers would be able to go out there and get a victory. But it's just hard for me to believe that the Packers go the entire season where they don't have one game against a team that, and again, it's an 8-5 football team, against a team that they should win, but they end up coming away with a loss. So it just feels like going west of Seattle is the moment.
Here's where I disagree with Kyle. 800-990-3776 on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Do you have an uneasy feeling that the Packers are going to lose to the Seahawks on Sunday? Early but telling, 47% say yes, 53% say no. And I think it has less to do with the Green Bay Packers not having a hiccup all season and more to do with the fact that Seattle has more to gain and the Packers have less to gain.
Really?
You know what I mean? When you have a team like the Green Bay Packers who are kind of sitting in this, like, they already have scenarios to make the playoffs, not to like continue to compete for the division, but like lock in making the playoffs. And then it's figuring out what seed they are. It's way different when you look across the aisle and you're talking about the Rams and the Niners yesterday on Thursday Night Football. The opportunity of these crazy scenarios if Washington and Seattle and the Rams, like if one of those win out and you don't, well, like again, I'm going way hypothetical there, but I'll just go granular. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks need to win this game more than the Green Bay Packers need to win this game. Their playoff lives and their division depends on them continuing to play good football. This is a team that's won 4 straight games. The way that Jason Wilde said it, I thought was really good. Or somebody said it. The Seattle Seahawks are 4 games in a row good, but I don't know if they're 5 games in a row good. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be hard for a Seattle team to be like, hey, we can run the table the rest of the way. They're good. They're not great. And it's a byproduct of who they played. The NFC West is very mid. The Cardinals are very average. The San Francisco 49ers can't figure it out. The Rams have been better since they've got Puka and Cooper back. My point is they play in this division where they're all kind of beating up on each other. They're all kind of got those average records. But Seattle needs to win this game to keep distance of winning the NFC North and helping them make the playoffs. Meanwhile, you got the Packers sitting at 97%. It's like, if we win, yeah, we're in. If we lose, it's still like 80 million scenarios that have to happen for them not to make the playoffs. So I feel as if it's less about hiccup and more about Seattle having a lot more to play for on Sunday. 800-990-3776.
And when I look at this game, I do think it's pretty 2 evenly matched teams where I believe that offensively the Green Bay Packers have a little bit more. I'm not sure if Kenneth Walker is going to be in or not, or Charbonnet is going to be starting. But at the end of the day, we have Jordan Love and they have Geno Smith. And then when you talk about have more to play for, see, for us, they're playing for a division, right? And when they look at their schedule ahead, they have games against the Rams that still mean something, right? Even if they lose this football game, they can still lose multiple games and be in it because simply they have a chance to play the team that is in front of them with the LA Rams to end the season this year. But overall for the Green Bay Packers, I mean, they have a little bit more to play for because they're playing for an opportunity to actually lock in a playoff berth. They're not playing for the division. They're playing to secure a 6th seed in the playoffs this year. They're playing to secure their spot in the playoffs, whereas with Seattle, they have a little bit of room to lose some games here.
Yeah, I think you're way off on that. The Packers have a 97% chance to make the playoffs, which means they have more room to lose games. Seattle, every game from this point forward with how tight it is where they are in the NFC West.
They can lose their next 2 football games and still have an opportunity against the Rams in the last game of the season. They literally they can control their destiny still with that. They can literally go and lose to the Packers, lose to the Vikings, and go into the last game of the season after they beat the Chicago Bears, because everybody beats the Bears, to go against the Rams and still have a chance to win that game.
Yeah, see, I think you're doing the hypothetical. Like the Seattle Seahawks have proven that they're not even a team that I think can be like you can write wins in their schedule. Like, you can't just write wins in the Seattle Seahawks schedule.
So you're uneasy about this game. So how can you say this about a football team that you can't write wins in for their schedule, but you're uneasy about it? If anything, you should be confident about the Packers then, because for the Green Bay Packers, something that they've proven all year.
It's a great question. Maybe I'm irrational, because what you said is not wrong, too. Jordan Love is the better quarterback.
He's the better quarterback. Josh Jacobs better running back. Offensive line's better.
Outside of last week when Kenneth Walker was out and Zach Charbonnet had a monster game, their rushing game has been ass. Do they have some good talent on the outside? Absolutely. I'd give their wide receiver course a leg up. But overall, as a football team and offense, the Packers are better. They're better.
No, they are better than them. And so that's why when I
maybe I'm being irrational.
But about time you admit to being irrational once in a while, because I do think you're being irrational.
But I don't know. Look, I claim to have the answers a lot. But I don't have the answer on this one. And when I don't have the answer, I lean uneasy. And when I lean uneasy, that might be a really good sign for the Packers on Sunday.
It might be. It might surprise us all. But I believe, based off what you have for the poll, a lot of Green Bay Packers fans look at Seattle not as a house of horrors, but a place where we have a whole bunch of bad
We're up to 100 votes, and right now 56% of the people, Kyle, are saying they have an uneasy feeling that the Packers are going to lose. And so what I'm saying is my pulse right now is is correct, but maybe it's irrational.
No, I don't think it's irrational. I give credit to us who watch football. You understand, especially when you have a team, you understand what you are up against. You understand that teams have that moment where they don't go out there and perform. So for the Green Bay Packers, if they were to win this game, I think this was instill a lot of confidence overall in some of the fan bases that this team can continue to beat teams that really aren't considered contenders for the Super Bowl trophy. But at the end of the day, like I said, Ben, I don't feel good about this game simply because of the fact some things just make.
You think it's just a letdown spot? But you know what? It's okay for you to say that.
You're going to Seattle. You're going all the way out west at night. You're playing Seattle.
In Seattle.
In Seattle, a place that you haven't had too much success. I told Jason Willie yesterday we haven't beaten them in Seattle since 2008. So, I mean, this football team, we have a lot of bad memories, whether or not it's the
PTSD.
No, it is PTSD.
As Adam chimes in, Ben's letting flashbacks speak. PTSD is real. Ricardo in Canada, 800-990-3776.
Come on, encourage us, Ricardo.
He always will. Ricardo, the Canadian, what do you got?
Man, this game I'm a little uneasy just because it's the West Coast. We could be playing a high school team on the West Coast and it make me uneasy. It's just that time zone. Something funky goes on over there, and it kills us over there. And not only that, we do need this game, because if we lose this game, then that probably puts us on a direct path with the Eagles in one of the. I'd rather play them in the conference finals. I want the Lions. That's who I want. So we need to keep winning and go back to Detroit. Get back to Detroit and beat their asses. But it's the West Coast. It's not the team. The Seahawks do not fear me. It's that time zone. It's something about the West Coast. It's watching the game at 8:00 at night and there's still sun out. It bothers me. I don't know what it is. It's just something crazy goes on over there.
Yeah, and Ricardo is very, very positive, Ben. There is just something that we feel as Packers fans going into this game that we feel very, very uneasy, and it's just odd, right? Because even against the Lions, a lot of us were excited to go to Detroit because we felt like we had something to prove. We were hyped up for the Thursday night football game. So to go from losing by 3 points to the best team in the NFL to now having to go to Seattle on the road and you not feeling the same level of confidence in this football team, just tell me.
How about some good news?
Something weird.
How about some good news?
I love good news.
Evan Williams, Edgerrin Cooper.
Okay. The Rooks.
Going to play.
That's good. Evan Williams, I was nervous when he
Romeo Dobbs.
Is he
looking
back?
like he's going to play?
That's good. The Green Bay Packers are getting healthy. That's positive because you're not going in with Zane Anderson at the back end. You actually have Evan Williams there. You're probably not going to have Bullard. I'm assuming that means that Bullard's going to probably be out this game.
I'm sure we'll get a full breakdown here, but I don't know what to make of this. I literally don't. 800-990-3776. Help me. Again. It's growing for the pessimism. And I wasn't even coming this into like a, hey, happy Friday, here's a negative take about the Green Bay Packers. Everyone else is feeling it. Is it the weather? Is it the damn weather? Is it the boogies that are freezing when I walk out my door?
The seasonal depression going on with this cold weather.
Well, we need the Packers.
No,
we need you.
I think, but
we need you.
We do, but this really probably sets us up for better. If the Green Bay Packers do win, I think that allows for the fan base to feel a little bit more confident. But I'm telling you, there's something about this game. There's something about this field, this vibe, and it's odd because you and me are now not always on the same wavelength when it comes to our vibes for the Green Bay Packers.
We are right now
because typically I'm on cloud 10, and typically you're on cloud hater. But in this sense, you and I are on the same page.
Do you have an uneasy feeling the Packers are going to lose on Sunday against Seattle? Yes is up to 59%. Tell us why you're uneasy. 800-990-3776. A player on the Green Bay Packers that's ruled out is Jair Alexander, who was a full participant, if I'm not mistaken, earlier in the week. And I don't know who said it. Again, maybe I have dad brain right now. I'm forgetting it because I did not give Joshie DiMaggio credit, producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, who said they're a team that can win 4 games in a row, but not a team that can win 5. That was Joshie. Hate giving him credit, especially after he came at Brad Nortman this morning on his show. But I still believe that there's a weird feeling to this game. And I want to talk about the fact that Jair Alexander, who practiced, is ruled out for Sunday's game against the Seahawks. We have to do something about Jair, and I think it will be a net positive long term. I'll tell you what we think we should do with Jair Alexander the rest of the season next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
So they are lucky. Those other teams, whether it's Kentucky or whether it's Oregon or was it TCU?
That was TCU.
TCU, they're lucky I didn't play in that game. You got upset by a bad team. TCU.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry
Are you guys being
turnovers.
serious? You guys can't put two and
I
three
got
together.
it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish
I'm
turnovers.
sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Bengo made his list and checked it twice. Turns out Bucks fans are really nice. Slay the holidays with a limited time ticket offer that will land you at the top of Bengo's nice list. Score gifts for the Bucks fans in your life and treat yourself too. Holiday packages feature ticket codes to redeem now or use later, exclusive Bucks holiday items, and an e-gift card that can be used to eat, drink, and be merry at Pfizer Forum. Explore options at bucks.com/deal season.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 2-liter bottle selective varieties Super Chilled 2-liter soda, 2 for $3. 15 to 30 count selective varieties Solo cups, plates, or bowls, $3.99. 4 to 12 count selective varieties Klondike ice cream bars, $4.49. 52 ounce selective varieties Fairlife milk, $3.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
It's the year-end rate reduction sales event at Ewald Automotive Group. Get rates as low as 4.9% on our best used cars and make no payments for 90 days. 4.9% and no payments till March 2025 on over 600 vehicles at 10 Ewald Automotive Group locations. Don't wait. Get a better rate during the year-end rate reduction sales event. Get to your nearest Ewald location today.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
With approved credit, interest accrues from date of purchase. Expires month end.
Cousin Subs is spicing things up this fall with a new sub and a delicious shake. The Chipotle Cheesesteak Sub, with either grilled-to-order chicken or steak, features pepper jack cheese, sauteed green peppers and onions, jalapenos, and Chipotle ranch dressing. And that's not all. Pair your Chipotle cheesesteak with a delicious mint shake, and your taste buds will fall in love. Order in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Gift giving is easy with an Island Resort and Casino gift card. Every person on your list can spend their time just the way they like it. Dining, going to a concert, relaxing at the Drift Spa, playing golf. No matter the reason, gift cards to the Midwest's premier resort destination are a sure bet. To order gift cards, stop by the Island Club today or call 877-ISL-SHOW. Then spread some joy because everyone knows your total experience is at the Island.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
But then you gotta put your back into it.
Jair Alexander, who practiced during the week, has been ruled out per Rob Domofsky. Hearing from Matt LaFleur. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show here. Over to the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios with Alex Strofe. Alex, you heard our conversation about the uneasy feeling we have about the game Sunday. Do you echo what the fans and Kyle and I feel?
I do. I'm 100% with you guys. I think the Packers lose on Sunday. And look, this Jair news is not helping because I thought if Jair was able to play on Sunday, you can maybe take Jackson Smith and Jigba out of the game a little bit. And then it comes down to Tyler Lockett, who's old, and DK Metcalf, who's a roller coaster ride of a receiver. But without Jair and all three of those guys playing pretty good football, I'm nervous. The good news is, the only optimistic way I can spin this is, thank God you're not playing Joe Montana or Patrick Mahomes on the other side. You're playing a quarterback you can rattle and force turnovers out of. But I don't think this is going to be an easy battle.
I hear you, and I like your thought process. But a strength of the Green Bay Packers defense isn't exactly rattling the opposing quarterback.
No, you're right. You're right.
No, I mean, I like your mindset. Like, you have to start finding the ways that you feel like you can find your path to victory when you write the game story in your head. But I have a hard time writing my game story right now in my head as to how they get to victory on the road on Sunday Night Football. And part of that conversation, and I'm a big proponent of one player that is not the quarterback, doesn't make or break a game. But when you miss a certain amount of games, you can start feeling the impact of missing said player. And I've reached the point now where, as I look at the Packers' playoff chances, 800-990-3776, it's minus 10,000 that the Packers make the playoffs. Like plus 2,000 you could bet that they would miss it. So that's saying you have to bet $10,000 just to win 100, and the Packers will make the playoffs. That's how likely it is from a betting scenario, rather than me saying, well, here's what would happen for it to go wrong, and essentially they're going to make the playoffs. So if that's the case, and I'm thinking about Jair Alexander, I don't want to put him out on the field one more snap the entire regular season. There is no reward by playing Jair Alexander when we know the value that he brings to this team when healthy. And the big key word there is when healthy. I'm sick of talking about Jair Bakhtiari as to when is he going to play. The way that we can get him to play is rest the AC. Rest his body. Because what did he do, Kyle, against the Dallas Cowboys?
Balled out, got an interception to set the tone early.
As much as he may be an enigma to the Packers as a cornerback, and good moments, bad moments, ups and downs, trash talking when they're down, trash talking when they're up, taking the coin toss. There is one thing that I do know about Jair Alexander is he does show up in big moments. And what moment is going to be bigger than any of the last 4 games that the Packers play?
There's nothing on the schedule.
Exactly. It's the playoffs. So sit Jair Alexander. Maybe give him a couple, I don't know. I mean, we've seen this before. I actually don't want to comp it to D-Bach because it actually didn't work out when they played him a half against Detroit in Week 17. And then he came back too early against San Francisco, and it was no bueno. But it's a different injury. It's a different scenario, but I'm kind of getting to where I want to go here of rest him, get him ready for the playoffs, and then play his ass when he can help the team when it matters most, because they really don't have that much to gain other than making sure that they're not the 7 seed in the playoffs, because I don't think you want this team to go to Philly or Detroit right away.
Yeah, this is easy. This is really easy. We don't need Jair during the regular season like that. I mean, it's nice to have him, but at the end of the day, if you have to make a decision, if you have to pick health of Jair Alexander or Jair Alexander playing now, I'm choosing his health. Regardless of what happens, the Green Bay Packers have proven last season, this season, in the past, they can win football games without Jair Alexander. And so with that being said, the Packers look at these next 4 games. If Jair does not feel like himself, if he does not feel healthy, if he doesn't have that mindset of, if I move here, it may hurt, or when he went out the last game, I think he made it 16 plays before he had to tap out the game, he shouldn't step foot out there, because the impact that he can have in the playoffs can be game-changing, and you saw it last year. But then on top of that, you look at he's played 7 playoff games, he's had 3 interceptions, and we go back against the Buccaneers game. He himself tried his best to keep the Green Bay Packers in that Buccaneers
game.
Talking
2020 NFC Championship game?
NFC Championship game where he had 2 interceptions against the great Tom Brady, right? Like, this dude is a great corner. He can shut down one of the best receivers on the opposing team's side. And so when you need him the most is in the playoffs, of when you're playing maybe a A.J. Brown, or you're playing a Devontae Smith, or when you have to go against Amon-Ra St. Brown, you want to have your top dog to go up against the other.
I mean, Cripes, Mike Evans, if you end up playing the Buccaneers, like there's a lot of scenarios in which you're going to need a guy like that.
Shutdown corner.
And here's how I think about it, because Think of a different position, a way more important position. Now, cornerback is important. We know. Like if you're drafting teams, it's cornerback, it's left tackle, it's defensive ends, and it's a shutdown corner. And in the way I look at Jordan Love's season, first game of the year, hurt his knee. Then comes back a little bit later against the Vikings, and boom, you get he's coming back, and there's the knee injury. And it took a 1/2 for him to get comfortable in that. What have we learned about Jordan Love after the bye? He looks healthy. He's taking more chances running the football, picking up some first down with his legs. He's played better football. His passer rating is up over 115 since the bye. And when you think about what Jordan Love has done when not having to think about his body is the same way I'm thinking about Jair Alexander, because there's no point in rushing him back to get a shoulder injury or a dink or a dunk there on his body. Like, it just ain't worth it.
Yeah, the reward of him playing in week 17 isn't as good as the risk of him not being able to play round one of the playoffs in the wild card round or the divisional round for the Green Bay Packers. So you're absolutely right, Ben. There is no reward from this. I am happy. I am more than happy to have Jair sit out the rest of the season until the playoffs start, because that's when we need his star to shine the brightest.
Strofe over at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios. You are the judge of both Kyle and I's opinions today. What do you think on our Jair should sit the rest of the regular season take?
I'm good with that at this point. If he was going to come back,
by the way,
this
I don't
was
like
the week
this.
to do
This
it.
is 2 segments in a row.
I know
where all 3 of us are in lockstep.
Yeah, we're in sync today, man.
Well, you know when you spend so much time with people, no matter how much you pretend to dislike them like Kyle does with me, or how much you actually dislike them like Ben does with me, it is, sometimes you find yourself in lockstep like we are right now. Yeah, if he was going to return, this was the week to return. This was the week to step up.
Wait, why?
Because
we're putting him out with the Bears, right?
Vikings?
Yeah, that too. But
Excuse me, I meant to say New Orleans, who's going to have a backup cornerback on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that one. No Olave, they're horrible, right? If he comes back, maybe Minnesota then is the one to do it. You're right about that, Kyle, because you really only have 2 opportunities for a quote-unquote, and we talk so much about this, it's become a buzzword this season, signature win. This is one of your final 2 opportunities to get that quote-unquote signature win that's been ever so elusive for this Packers team in 2024.
Ooh, we got to talk about that word, signature win, on Sunday.
Why?
Ain't no signature happening on that game on Sunday.
So you don't think this would be a signature win?
Nope.
Kyle, if they win that game by 3 touchdowns, they win that game by 21 points, you're not viewing that as a signature win for a team that's won 4 in a row in a hostile road environment under the lights?
Everybody will say Seattle wasn't that good. The Green Bay Packers only have one opportunity to become a contender and stop being a pretender, and it starts during the wild card round.
Is that what people are saying about the Houston win, Kyle?
Yeah. People are looking at the schedule and saying the Packers haven't beaten anybody. What are you talking about? They're literally looking at the season that C.J. Stroud is having and saying, yeah, well, they also didn't have Nico. Like, I'm telling you, there's nothing on here that makes the Green Bay Packers become a contender.
The Rams didn't have Puka or Cooper.
No, I'm telling you, the Green Bay Packers are going to be considered pretenders. Listen, I think they're a contender, but they're going to be considered pretenders. They're not going to be considered legit until they beat a legit football team when it absolutely matters. And a lot of times, for the rest of the year, nobody's going to care. When you beat the Vikings, they'll find some excuses. Well, it's
I
still
want to
Sam
dive
Darnold.
deeper in that.
Matter.
I want to dive deeper into that. First, we're going to get to you talking about this underdog mentality that the Packers are having. In a way that you could maybe help people win some money.
Oh, listen, I apologize. I'm going to apologize now for those who signed up for the amazing Underdog Fantasy Sports and y'all picked Cooper Kupp yesterday. Because, boy, he had a big old donut. So I apologize for that, but that's the fun of it, right? You probably sitting there watching the game saying, come on, Cooper, I need you to make a catch. Come on, I need you to get higher than this, higher than that, or lower than this, lower than that. So that is the fun of Underdog Fantasy Sports right there, Ben. You had... Yeah.
You know that you and I are against each other, and I have Cooper Kupp.
I was wondering when I was looking, when I said, "Oh, he got somebody playing today. He ain't got no points." I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah. Lower would have been pretty good.
Lower would have been good, but that's the great thing about Underdog Fantasy Sports. It's so easy to play, and you can join the 2 million+ 5 million plus fans who have made over $2 billion playing the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. And listen, y'all, it's so easy to play. What you do is you go into the app, you select higher or lower on player stats. So whether it's passing yards, whether it's rushing yards, whether it's receptions, whether it's sacks, whether it's interceptions, higher or lower, if you pick right for these player stats, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And I promise you this, I guarantee you, when you download the Underdog Fantasy Sports app and you're playing it and you're like, oh, I'm having so much fun watching the game now, you're going to say Kyle was right. I guarantee you're going to whisper to yourself, Kyle was right, because Underdog Fantasy is the way to go. So make sure you go to your Apple store or your Android store and you download the Underdog Fantasy Sports app and you sign up using promo code KBN. That is promo code KBN. And when you deposit right now, guess what? They will give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Yes, $1,000 in bonus cash instantly when you use promo code KBN on the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. Sign up today, and remember, it must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Hey, El Strophe, are you preparing for the 608 basketball tournament, or have you prepared a becoming relevant for us?
The answer is both, Benny. I'm a man of many talents. I can do both.
All right, we'll see how good he is at doing both. Strofe segment Becoming Relevant is next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like, he's just, I am Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. It is the holiday season, which is a time for family, friends, and staying cozy inside. But if your home is drafty, it's hard to stay comfortable. And with all the gift giving happening this time of year, why don't you give yourself the gift of lower energy bills with new windows from Universal Windows Direct? For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. Go to UWD.com and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting their first ever tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a 2-man scramble at Whistling Straits, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through December 31st. Your winter chance to play Whistling Straits awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle, created to bring festive cheer to your celebration. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, did you know there are only 2 weekends left before the holiday, including this one? Not a lot of time, but lucky for you, Macy's is having a one-day sale right now. So your weekend should include a trip to Macy's, where you'll find great gift deals, like 20 to 50% off beauty and fragrance from Drybar, Lancome, and Shiseido. Plus, this is the only weekend to earn Macy's money. That's another great reason to shop Macy's one-day sale before, well, you're all out of weekends to shop. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The clock's ticking, but there's still plenty of time to save on great Christmas gifts at Fleet Farm. 'Tis the season for ice fishing, and we're knocking 10% off select rods, reels, tip-ups, lures, huts, you name it. Visit Toyland and save up to 40% on a bunch of toys for the kids. So come on in and wrap up your shopping today at Fleet Farm, home of the best gift prices guaranteed.
Ho, 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 ho.
Year-end savings are here at Land Rover Waukesha. Unwrap a truly unique luxury SUV this holiday season. The new Range Rover Velar provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology. Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 72 months only on a new 2025 Range Rover Velar at Land Rover Waukesha. 3.9% APR for 72 months. A deal so nice, even Santa will want in. Get your mittens on the most luxurious ride this holiday season. LandRoverWaukesha.com.
$2,000 to the Jewelry Center? Even I can't deliver a gift that good.
The Jewelry Center is making your holiday season extra special this year. A $2,000 shopping spree at the Jewelry Center is up for grabs. From now till December 23rd, head to ESPNWisconsinContest.com to register for your chance to win a shopping spree. The Jewelry Center has you covered from gold necklaces to naturally mined and lab-grown diamonds. Register today for the Jewelry Center's $2,000 shopping spree at ESPNWisconsinContest.com. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
$800-990-3776. Chef Ed is mad at us, Kyle.
Wait, Chef Ed, why?
How can you say they're contenders and say they will lose Sunday?
Contenders lose, man. They do. You can't win every
Fake
game.
fans, he says.
What, Chef Ed, I know you were around long enough, is you probably saw the 72 Dolphins who went undefeated. Listen, we weren't even around at that time. We haven't seen a team take it all the way and be undefeated. Come on now.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show, Alex Strofe pumping his fist at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And it's time now to hear from him. It's his segment, Becoming Relevant.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Yeah, just like Chef Ed being old enough to remember the 72 Dolphins, Kyle discovered earlier this afternoon he's old enough to see a Packers loss in the Super Bowl, which he didn't know.
Stop it. Okay.
You said I've never seen a loss in the Super Bowl.
I tried
3 minutes later, Strofe.
Yeah, you remind me. I tried to get rid of that memory. Of course I remember the Green Bay Packers.
3 minutes later he goes, damn, I hate the Denver Broncos.
I literally to this day still hate the Denver Broncos. I'm mad at Brad because Brad lost to the Broncos in the Super Bowl. I hate the Broncos.
I didn't even think of that.
I hate the Denver Broncos. Imagine being a kid doing the Pack Arena in 1996, 1997. As your team wins the Super Bowl, you just think this is going to be forever. You go back to the Super Bowl, the Broncos, and next thing you know, you're sitting there while your older cousin, who's a Broncos fan, is sitting there smiling in your face because the Broncos beat up on us.
I will say that the Broncos were a really fun team to play in NFL Blitz on N64.
I mean, they had a squad.
They had a squad.
Rod Davis, Terrell.
NFL Blitz.
Smith.
2000.
Man.
Kyle's cousin, Jordan Turner, formerly of Wisconsin of Michigan State, just declared for the NFL draft yesterday. I think it would be hilarious if he got drafted by the Denver Broncos because they also have an offensive lineman who went to Kyle's alma mater, Quinn Miners, who went to UW Whitewater. So just think that could be
I would love for Jordan Turner to somehow make his way to the Packers and he'd be missing tackles like Quay Walker.
Honestly,
cut this Turner!
Honestly, I'll be real with y'all. I love the fact that he went to Wisconsin, but it was so less stressful having him on Wisconsin when they weren't doing well versus, Michigan State. Because Michigan State, unless y'all lose the game, it's like, well, you got yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the boys ready, all this. With Wisconsin, it's like, you might have did well or didn't do well, but dang it, the team lost. And so I can't be as
Why'd
mad.
you make that tackle? You ruined my Saturday.
So I would prefer him not play for the Packers because I don't have time to sit up here and have to.
I have no idea. Does he have a shot at getting drafted?
He has a shot at being drafted.
Definitely.
He has a shot at being drafted. Probably, we're looking 5th, 6th, 7th round undrafted free agent. But
you know what could be fun, Benny, is he could go from beefing with Christian Watson's dad to his uncle.
Kyle's beefing with his own family because he can't close his damn mouth on the radio.
Right. All right, guys, let's dive in. Last night, Thursday night football, the Rams topped the 49ers, but that's not the story of the night. Former Packers linebacker Devondre Campbell was asked in the third quarter to go into the game for Drake Greenlaw. You guys remember he tore his Achilles prior to last year's Super Bowl. Yesterday, his return game. Campbell asked to go back in the game, said nope, didn't want to play. Went back to the locker room, left the facility. Kyle Shanahan saying today he has played his last snap for the Niners. They just haven't figured out how they're going to part ways quite yet. Weird situation. What do you make of it?
All right, I don't feel like being on the radio show today. I'm going to walk out. Kyle, you got the rest of the show.
Well, unlike the 49ers, is me and Strofe still going to get the dub. We going to get the dub on like they did. This is ridiculous. And you know what? I have to apologize.
Please do. Because I've been waiting for an apology for Kyle Wall since we started the show.
I in my life am correct 90% of the time. 90%. And so the slight 10% of the time I'm not right, I will acknowledge it. And I recall doing a show I think it was last March when Devondre Campbell took
tweeted
shots
out and everything.
Yeah. And so I said, well, this guy was nominated, I believe it was like the Walter Payton Award nominee for the Green Bay Packers, and the team liked him. And I'm like, there's no way a guy could be so beloved in a locker room, but could be so selfish. There has to be something else going on. Joe Barry was trash. Joe Barry didn't know what he was doing with him. Well, damn, was I wrong. He's the problem. He has issues.
Maybe I'm the problem.
Listen, you sit here, you take shots at my Green Bay Packers saying, oh, they don't know how to play you. Oh, you sacrifice your body. You do this. You got to look out for 59. And 59 goes to San Francisco and continues to look out for 59. Like, 59, you suck now. You had one good season. You got paid. And now you are trash. This will be the last time he walks off an NFL field. Ain't nobody signing him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, the fallout here. Like,
he's done.
I'm not even saying from a he's done perspective, but like this has like weird vibes. This is so unprecedented that I want to know how deep this goes. Like is this like Antonio Brown, like just like doing it without taking his shirt off, and next thing you know he's just a Twitter personality?
Nobody will remember who Devondre Campbell is for the next 10 years.
No, he's the answer to a trivia question now, which and it is not about him being a one-time first-team All-Pro. I just want to remind you, Kyle, as you go on your little rant there, back on May 20th, we talked about this tweet on the show, Devondre Campbell tweeting, I can't even lie, I'm having so much fun playing football again. The situation I was in was making me lose my love for the game, but I'm back having fun again, and I love that for myself. Oh boy, what can change in 7 months, fellas?
Should I be soft? Is he going through a mental health crisis?
That's kind of what I was saying.
I don't know.
He got to be going through a crisis.
Something's going on.
Man,
it don't add up.
Maybe I should be softer. So you know what, Devondre, you're human. We have issues, but you don't leave your boys out there to dry like that, man. Especially when Greenwald comes back.
If that's the case, we saw what happened with Romeo Doubs. He expressed his displeasure earlier in the week. He didn't wait until the third quarter.
Yeah, this
times are a-changing, boys.
Bad team. Well, he's not Gen Z. He's a millennial. He's making us look bad.
He sure is. I would love to know. It was Dude Friday on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It would have been amazing for Strofe to toss up a question to Chewy about one of his teammates leaving him and Holmgren in the 90s.
Oh, that would have never happened.
No, but if it did, what it would be what the response would be.
Can you cut a player in the middle of a game?
It basically happened. It happened without happening.
He cut himself.
The best thing that happened from the game was the storyline of Devondre Campbell, because that was the worst football game I've watched in a long time.
Oh, it was rough. Yeah, that weather didn't help, and it was a gross football game. All right, guys, last thing for you. Last night was the ESPN Madison holiday party. I did not attend. It was at Madison Axe, which is an axe throwing bar, right?
Why weren't we invited? Yeah, we're at ESPN Madison.
You guys weren't invited?
No.
I didn't know anything.
Well, that's a different bone to pick than the one I'm about to.
Well, can you please pick that bone with the fine folks? Well, half that office party left, so who's ever left, let them know our displeasure.
You can guess who's not here.
Jesse.
Yeah, he left shortly after I got here.
Wisconsin volleyball tonight. He's coming back.
He is. That's true. That's what he said. So I got a video. I woke up to a video this morning of Hunter Vaughn, who produces Mr. Relevant Monday, Wednesday, Friday, throwing an axe at my face. You know, like the old-fashioned dartboard where you throw darts at the faces of people you don't like?
Or when they put someone's face on the urinal and you pee on it.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I got videos of people throwing axes at my face. How should I feel about that?
You should feel really good. I would feel so good.
I live rent-free or what?
Oh, my gosh. I would come into that office and be like, you guys miss me that much? You guys think of me that much? That I haven't been around the last 6 months and you guys are throwing axes at my face? Find somebody else to care about. Jeez.
Yeah.
I think ESPN Madison has some real problems about, like, letting go of things. They are grudge holders.
I don't like this. I don't know how I wouldn't have liked somebody throwing an axe in my face. That's an act of war. What do you mean we got beef? Like, I've never had that happen to me, nor would I want that to happen to me. That's not cute. Somebody trying to act like they're cutting my beautiful face in half.
I'll tell you what, I would have loved to join that party and throw an axe at Stroh's face.
Take that for data.
I like you, Stroh. I wouldn't have done it. I would have objected to it. You know me. Karen Kyle would have came.
Kyle's running in front of the axes. Don't throw it at Stroh!
Nah, I ain't that serious, boy.
I mean, the way Kyle started today's show, it sounded like he was taking part in the throwing axes at my face.
You took a shot at me. You
took a shot at me.
You said exactly what you said because he walked in my office yesterday and he said, "It's Thursday.
Oh.
What do you say every Thursday?" I said, "I didn't say it today." He said, "But what do you say every Thursday?" It's Thursday.
This is some real Gen Z energy, Kyle. Real Gen Z energy.
Today is Friday, and you brought that up. You knew what you was doing. You ain't slick.
Yeah. Kyle, it's Freaky Friday. I'm just speaking facts. It's Friday the 13th. Freaky Friday.
But you said it was Thirsty Thursday because you were trying to bring up something from yesterday. I know what you was trying to do. You ain't slick. I just called you out on it.
I live rent-free in your head.
Kyle's, ESPN Madison's.
Thirsty Thursday.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman. That's it for Becoming Relevant. Even if you had more, I'm putting a kabosh to that because we have...
No, not letting you get away with that.
The kibosh to that. As Dom Catronio, whatever it is, you hear Dom on 620 WTMJ, Brewers Weekly. He has all the knowledge of anyone in the world as it comes to the Milwaukee Brewers. And if you missed it, Devin Williams was traded to the New York Yankees. Goodbye, Airbender. Say hello, balking Nestor Cortez, and many others that we will get details from Dom Catronio, who will be joining us next on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman to fill you in on everything Milwaukee Brewers and the outlook of the 6 of the last 7 playoff-bound Brewers.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all I'm saying
Come on, guys! His name is Coach Bud!
If he replicates
Coach Booty!
what Coach Bud...
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Bring in 2025 at American Place Casino. Join us for the Oztacular Countdown featuring $50,000 promotional drawings, merchandise giveaways, live entertainment, and more. They say seeing is believing, and at American Place Casino, you'll believe you found a real game changer. From table games to the hottest slots, plus dining, bars, and more, we've got it all. This New Year's Eve, let the celebration begin. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Monica, what delightful surprise do you have for us this Christmas?
I've been waiting all day for your big reveal. Take a look and tell me what you see. Oh, that's gorgeous.
I see the North Star, that guiding light that always lets you know where you are.
The North Star is important to you?
Sitting directly above the axis of the Earth, it's the only star in the sky that never moves. It's always there for you.
Sarah? I see the star that stood high over Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might.
Monica, it's fabulous.
Nicole Lasker designed it. I love her.
What's it called?
The Star of Hope. We have them in sterling silver with 4 diamonds for just $198. And in white gold with bigger and bigger diamonds at prices up to $19.98.
I love it.
I love it even more than Rick does. The Star of Hope.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
A statement win last weekend.
Cam Jones, step back 3 is.
That's a hard shot.
So we pounded it.
And a foul.
On Saturday, one final non-conference game for Marquette. The number 5 Golden Eagles visit Dayton. Our game night coverage starts Saturday at 5:30 with Gabe Neitzel and the Marquette Sports Network pregame show. Homer and Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith are on the call at 6 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is your official home for Marquette basketball. We are Marquette.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Take the stress out of the holiday season with the Milwaukee Bucks. Get all your shopping done with Bucks deal season offers, featuring great gifts and limited time packages that even Scrooge will love. Score deals for everyone on your list, including yourself, from the Milwaukee Bucks and Pfizer Forum. 'Tis the season for cheer with your favorite deer. After all, there's no place like Pfizer Forum for the holidays. Shop the offers today at bucks.com/deal season.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman.
You don't see the resemblance?
But we have someone more handsome than even Brad Nortman with us right now. And that's Dom Catronio. You hear Dom all across our stations, especially on 620 WTMJ, Brewers Postgame, Brewers Weekly.
I got to give Dom credit. You know what? Because I like people who got swag. Dom got a nice swag to him. He does. Brad, I love Brad, but Brad comes in T-shirts and shorts all the dang time.
Hey, I got the hairline for radio. I got to dress. Yeah. I got to do something else.
No, man.
You want to see a bald man? Head to YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison.
The bald and beautiful for the Brewers.
Yeah, we have Rob Domofsky for the Packers, and our bald and beautiful Brewers expert is Dom Catronio.
Heyo.
Now, for those who missed it, Devin Williams was traded per Jeff Passan earlier today to the New York Yankees. They received left-hander Nestor Cortez back, as well as a second baseman Caleb Durbin to the Milwaukee Brewers. Your instant reaction, then I want to tell you how I feel about it.
My instant reaction is, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, it's not, oh my God, they fleeced him. Oh my God, they won the deal. Yeah, it's about right. I think both teams are satisfied with that. And Matt Arnold has said this over the years. I mean, time will tell of what Caleb Durbin can become, because when you're trading expiring deals, right? Devin's a free agent at the end of next season. Nestor Cortez is a free agent at the end of next season. So what are you keeping? You're keeping $4.5 million in cash, which offsets basically the arbitration value of what Devin was going to get and what Nestor's going to get. And then furthermore, you get Caleb Durbin, a kid who hasn't made his big league debut yet. He's on the 40-man roster. He was added to the Yankees 40-man roster. He's somebody they think very highly of. And not only do the Yankees did they think highly of him, Pat Murphy has already seen him. As we know, Murph lives in Arizona during the offseason, and he was in the Arizona Fall League this past year, and he went and watched. He's just down the road, and quote Matt Arnold just a moment ago, we just got a phone with him, was like, he is pumped because he saw Caleb Durbin in person. Caleb Durbin, forgive me, short King Spring. I mean, 5'6", 185 pounds. I mean, it is not a stereotypical build to be an infielder.
That's.
Are we back in the 90s?
My goodness.
Some Dan Ugla forearm
style.
5'6",
5'6", 185.
5'6".
Hey, I thought you would like them short kings.
No, that's like Dustin Pedroia was like that, wasn't he? My goodness,
exactly.
Short, compact, but I heard he could steal a lot of bases.
What I love about this, and why I agree with Dom that it makes sense, is this is a not letting history repeat itself in a bad way. what the Brewers had done in the year that Josh Hader was traded was broke up the entire vibe of that season in the locker room, and it was hard to recover and bounce back from that emotionally. What we saw last year, Corbin Burns, similar situation, a guy who you did not have control over moving forward. You trade him before the season, and we see those assets actually playing out and making an impact for the Milwaukee Brewers now. What would it be like for this team if, coming off of a year in which Pat Murphy was manager of the year, and they have a great start to the season, they figure out how to do what they always do, and halfway through the season, they got to trade Devin Williams?
Right. I think the other thing that we all are so quick to forget, the Brewers spent 4 months without Devin anyway.
Powerful.
They were extremely successful without Devin. I'm not saying I don't want Devin Williams. Devin Williams is an all-star closer and is one of the best in the game. But the Brewers proved to themselves they're dealing from a position of depth. Bullpen has always been their strength. Trevor McGill proved that he can handle it, but not only him. You can have multiple closers on this team. Abner Uribe will be healthy and back in 2025. Nick Mears has got closer stuff, and what we saw with him in Game 3 of the playoffs last year, too. You've still got multitude of guys that you can choose from. And more minor leaguers on the way. A guy that I pointed out today on my Twitter, Craig Yoho. I'm excited about him. So the Brewers have bullpen help, and they spent so much of the time without Devin Williams last year.
Well, the instant reaction came to somebody listening to one of our great programmings, Carlin and Joe. I don't know if they were talking about Devin Williams, but Dick in Downtown says, I just like to throw this out there. Last time I saw Devin Williams at the brewery, 2 days later, he choked in the game. I offered to drive him to the airport whenever. Big days for this Brewers fan.
Wow.
That's some haterade right there.
That is some haterade. Now, Devin was really good.
So you know what's interesting is, and we're joined by Dom Catronio here, and I don't need Dom to answer this. I want Kyle to answer this.
Come on.
I want to hear this.
Will you remember Devin Williams, the pitcher, or will you remember Devin Williams, the broke his hand and Pete Alonso guy?
Nope. I will remember him being the airbender, watching him pitch and be like, ooh, there it is. 1, 2, 3.
There it is.
No, for real. Like, that's how I remember Devin Williams. And for me, being a Brewers fan, he ain't the first one to blow something for us in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It's
more like the next one.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like at the end of the day, this is kind of what I've grown accustomed to, is blown saves when it matters in the playoffs. I remember Josh Hader, when I was flying back home, all us Brewers fans were on a plane when they played the Nationals, and he blew that one as well. I'm like, Doug, listen. It is what it is, but thank you for
Hader ended the season for the Astros in a bad way this year as well.
But as we say, Ariana Grande said, thank you next. That's exactly what it is with Devin Williams. Thank you, and whoever's up next.
So, Dom, I want to ask you this as it pertains to the 6th of the last 7 years making the playoffs is no doubt impressive for the Milwaukee Brewers and what they do in the size of the market that they are. Now, I want you to tell us your true feelings as to if a World Series in this market, based off how money is being thrown around to Soto and you name it, it's everywhere. And you've seen the comparisons of Stearns and how much he spent with the Brewers to what he spent on Soto. Give people reason to believe why a small market team that's consistently successful can break through in today's MLB and actually win a World Series.
All of those guys that are getting massive contracts started somewhere. And I know some fans are like, what? So the small market team's just a feeder team to the big market teams? I understand that. But how genius are the Brewers looking right now for that Jackson Chourio deal right now? How smart are the Brewers looking right now for understanding flipping Hader, taking the L that year, flipping that into William Contreras, and now flipping into Devin Williams into a year of Nestor Cortez, who, by the way, pitched 174 innings last season. That's a ton of innings in today's game. But the reason why the Brewers always have a chance is because, A, the rest of this division refuses to be competitive for some reason. Now, the Cubs did
make a move.
But they are still going to shed $10 million of payroll when they trade Cody Bellinger. I don't think they're going to keep Cody Bellinger. So if you're sitting here saying, oh my gosh, I mean, the small market team complaining about all this stuff, how is this team ever going to be successful? Look at the other teams in this division. They can take it just as easily, and they haven't been able to do it. That's a pride of success that the Brewers have been able to put together.
I like Dom.
It's 6 out of 7. Like, you got to come at the crown. You're the team in front.
Yeah.
And they keep making moves like, oh, well, who knows what the Brewers are doing? No, we know exactly what the Brewers are doing. They're continuing to reload to stay at the top of this division because you can't win the World Series if you don't get in. And that's the easiest way to get in.
And what I love about this as well is that we finally have gotten to a point. And I always shout out to Doug Melvin because I think he helped build it up. And then, Mr. Harvard, as what Homer calls him, David Stearns, helped kind of solidify that with Craig Counsell. And now we just have this system with Matt Arnold where it just feels like we know what we're doing, right? You make the trade last year, you get rid of Corbin Burns, and you bring in DL Hall and Joey Ortiz. Hall was hurt most of this year, but Joey Ortiz, impact guy, right? And now you have another chance when you bring in this kid, Caleb, as well, is he may end up starting right away. That's my question for you. What does that infield look like now that you bring in a guy that plays second base, I believe?
He plays all over.
Okay.
I think
He ain't going to go over the platinum glover.
Yeah.
Right, but there's talk Bryce could go to short, Joey could go to short, then you got a gap at third. Who's going to play third? Is there another move on the horizon? The Brewers have a good problem now in that they have a lot of candidates to play short, second, third. Maybe it's already internal. Maybe it's on the outside, but the point is, there is, if I had to guess right now, I said this on my show last night, Joey Ortiz is my starting shortstop, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bryce Terang moves over to short. You have Durbin there at second base, and you keep Ortiz at third. That's a possibility.
So here's the best part about you asking that question, Kyle. Dom can prognosticate all he wants, but the manager of the year gets to play with the pieces and figure out how to make it work. Dom Catronio, listen to him on 620 WTMJ. Brewer season will be here before we know it. This is how it always goes. We're going to say pitchers and catchers are reporting.
I need spring training.
Your bald head is going to be in the sun. Make sure you put SBS 50 on that. Dom, we appreciate the time, and thanks for joining Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Dom Catronio. Listen to him on 620 WTMJ and across all of our programming on ESPN Wisconsin. We're back in 2 minutes, and Kyle thinks the Packers, not himself, but they will be viewed as pretenders, not even with the rest of the regular season, until the playoffs. That's big from our Packer backer next.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
College hockey returns to Fiserv Forum with the 4th annual Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off, December 28th and 29th.
The Wisconsin Badgers return to defend their title, facing the Ferris State Bulldogs in semifinal action on day one. The Yukon Huskies and Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks will battle for the other spot in the championship game.
Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Secure your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
Save big money at Menards. Did you know the attic is a home's #1 source of heat loss? Adding fiberglass insulation to your attic now is an easy and effective way to keep warm air in and lower your utility bills by 15%. Plus, you can stack on more savings with additional federal tax credits on qualifying energy-efficient upgrades. Stop into Menards today and check out all the ways to insulate your home and save.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Ho, 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 ho.
Year-end savings are here at Land Rover Waukesha. Unwrap a truly unique luxury SUV this holiday season. The new Range Rover Velar provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology. Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 72 months only on a new 2025 Range Rover Velar at Land Rover Waukesha. 3.9% APR for 72 months. A deal so nice, even Santa will want in. Get your mittens on the most luxurious ride this holiday season. LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Still looking for answers from everyone because I think everyone feels the same way and doesn't know why. That's the best way that I can describe this, Kyle. On Twitter at KBN ESPN, do you have an uneasy feeling the Packers are going to lose to the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday? Over 260 votes. Put it out an hour ago. 56% say yes. Somebody talk to me. I don't like this like hidden energy. Like we're talking about it. Strove's talking about it. But yet I don't know exactly why, other than maybe that you brought up the fact they haven't won since 2008 in Seattle. Maybe. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace. No Brad Nortman. Strophe running the show in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. Chris Larson here with us at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios. So 800-990-3776. If you're one of those feeling uneasy, please explain why.
Yeah, I just don't feel good. So on Sunday, I'm just going to have a calm demeanor when I'm watching Sunday night. Being hopeful, anything positive happens, I'm going to be hyped up. It's going to be one of them games where you feel like you're the underdog, right? I don't even know if the Packers probably aren't favored in this game.
No, they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Vegas knows something, though.
I mean, it's one of those things that
they're favored on the road out west.
Yeah, minus 2.5,
Yeah,
minus
okay.
3, wherever you see it. It's basically saying like this is going to be a close game.
But a road team that has one more win than the other team, coming off a loss last week, is favored to win.
You can look at it as a bounce back after
winner.
a Lions game or a letdown spot after the Lions game. You can look at it as the Seahawks aren't a good enough team to win 5 games in a row.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many things that swing in the Seahawks' favor. It's interesting that Vegas doesn't feel the same way we do, but they're strategic.
So I want to get deeper into your mind as it pertains to the Packers, not just about Sunday, but about the next 4 regular season games, because I didn't think I'd hear these words out of your mouth saying that the Packers are pretenders until the playoffs.
Yeah, Ben, this is what it is. Like I believe the Green Bay Packers are contenders, so let me just start with that. But overall, I'll listen to what everybody has to say about the Green Bay Packers here in KBN Nation and those outside of KBN Nation. But it just seems to me when we look at the Packers schedule and they talk about this football team, everybody points to the fact that the Packers have not beaten anybody. Their schedule is soft. They've lost to all the good football teams. The Packers are nobodies. That's basically what it comes down to, is that the Packers can't point to any game on their schedule and say that is a impressive victory. That is a statement victory. That is a game where they beat somebody that is a legit threat to do something. And so when you have a football team that, according to many others, have not beaten anybody this year, and anytime they played a team of quality have taken an L, that means everything you do will be diminished up until the point that you actually do something such as beating a really good football team. So this is why I say the Green Bay Packers are going to be considered pretenders. Yes, pretenders until the playoffs start. Because if you win on Sunday, everybody's going to say this, Ben, mark my words. If the Green Bay Packers win on Sunday, I'll say when they win, because I hope they do win, they're going to say, Seattle was hot, but, I mean, look at who they beat on the 4-game winning streak. They beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are fading, and they beat the lowly Jets. They've only won 3 games this year. And then on top of that, they beat the Cardinals before that. And the 49ers, remember, they suck now. So all they're going to do is look for reasons why the Green Bay Packers have not beaten a quality opponent. People don't believe that the Seahawks are a legit threat to win the Super Bowl. So until the Packers actually beat somebody that's a legit threat, and I know we have the Vikings coming up in a couple weeks, but newsflash, nobody believes in the Vikings either. The Packers can prove nothing, and I'm saying nothing, until they make the playoffs and knock off a good football team. Until then, the P in Packers stands for pretender to some.
I disagree.
Okay, go.
I disagree.
Why?
For the same reason that every fan, or not every fan, 59% are saying they're uneasy about this game. If you win convincingly in a place that you haven't won since 2008, and you do it in a way where it's like Jordan Love is popping, Jordan Love is like the guy, you start feeling a little bit of tingle in your body. You're like, hey, this is that late second half Jordan Love that I love to see. And then you do what? Revenge game. Later on, let's just take this one step at a time. Take care of business on Monday Night Football against the lowly Saints who don't have Derek Carr and half their team because they're hurt and they're out of it.
Zero credit for that game.
Zero credit, but hey, a win is a win, and it would take them to, in this scenario, right? In this scenario, and saying how I call the Packers not pretenders heading into the playoffs, it's beat the Seahawks convincingly in a place you haven't won, take care of business on Monday Night Football at home, dominate the Vikings. Show the world why people don't believe in them, because they still haven't given a reason for them to not be believed in. because they continue to win. They only have 2 losses on the season, and if you convincingly beat their ass right before you play the Bears, and I want beatdown Packers, and I know I'm asking for a lot here. This conversation's based on a high bar. This bar that we're setting is how do we get the Packers in our heads as a team that when it rolls around, you're like, hey, we're the 6th seed. We got to go on the road, and then we got to go on the road and play the Eagles, and we got to go on the road and play the Lions. You're like, you know what? It doesn't matter what it is because I'm so confident in what I've seen heading into the playoffs. I don't like the mindset from Kyle Wallace right now that the P in Packers is pretender no matter what happens in the next 4 games.
No.
Because I can convince you that these next 4 games, if they do what I say, in what I just said, that Kyle Wallace will change his tune. I don't know why you got this mopey Friday attitude.
No!
You're going to come in after they smack the Vikings, and they're going to say they're going to smack the Bears, and then don't matter who we play the playoffs, we coming for them.
You may be right. I may be walking around like my stuff don't stink, but at the end of the day, I know what the narrative for this team is going to be. It is already
Let's create
painted.
a better narrative.
We can't. It's too late. You had the one opportunity, the last opportunity to do it was against the Detroit Lions, and you lost a close football game where even in that one, people are saying, yeah, it was close, but they were missing their left tackle. They didn't have their whole D-line.
Why are you saying this? You're giving people excuses right now.
These are the excuses that I heard. Everything the Packers have done this year has been an excuse for why they were good. The dang Dolphins were playing well, but guess what? They come to the cold, and all of a sudden they're not a professional NFL team that should be able to manage and play in the cold. So overall, I just know that the Green Bay Packers, they can prove something to themselves.
I also think you're flawed in the way you look at Minnesota. I think people are starting to respect, especially the 5-touchdown game, especially the Kevin O'Connell coaching job, especially the Brian Flores defensive coordinator experience. I think you're undervaluing the way that others are looking at the Vikings. I think Kyle Wallace is looking at the Vikings different than most. Strofe, am I right on that?
Well, when it comes to the idea of a signature win, right? Kyle said you're out of opportunities after the Lions loss, which in terms of a huge win, in terms of beating the best team in the NFL, as some view it for Detroit, sure, I get where you're coming from. Minnesota smoked you on your home field earlier this year. Minnesota has a 2-game lead in front of you in the NFC North. They are 1 game back of the Lions and 2 games above the Packers, Kyle. I get maybe you don't believe in them as a true Super Bowl contender, but we can't forget they are a better team than the Packers on paper. They are a better team in terms of their record. They are better in terms of some of their wins. So, yeah, they're for real. On December 29th, you have the opportunity for that signature win, even more so than you do this Sunday.
What happened to you? What did this team do to you?
It's nothing that the team did to me.
No.
It's just listening to everybody else. Is that even
I thought you were an original thinker and not just listening to everyone else.
What I'm saying is that I know that the
blah blah.
What I know is to be
verbal
true.
Vomit. Verbal vomit.
What I know to be true is that the Green Bay Packers are still going to be considered pretenders until they prove something this year. And y'all can
apparently next 4 games to Kyle Wallace, they can't prove anything, which is just ridiculous.
They beat Seattle, they get no credit. They beat the Saints, they get no credit. Even if they beat the Minnesota Vikings, they'll still get very little credit unless the game actually means something. And we know beating the Bears is just something that we do annually, biannually. Twice a year.
Yes, that would be biannually. You're correct. Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of biannually, 800-990-3776, the man who has to enjoy the loss from the Green Bay Packers biannually, Jonathan Brust, the delusional Bears fan of the South. Welcome into Kyle Brust and Nortman.
JB.
Hey, happy Friday. It's the end of the week. It's a holiday season. People are throwing parties. I got a quick question for you, Ben. If somebody invites you to a party, would you rather them respond and tell you they're not coming because they have bowling league, or just not respond at all?
I don't think it matters. If they didn't respond or they got bowling, that means they're not coming.
It's very kind of that when it's your actual brother who's throwing a fundraiser for his son's orphanage. And I get no response, and I reach out to your significant other, and she wasn't even made aware of it.
Oh, wow. Who has bowling league?
Oh, you wouldn't know there. Some random couple. I saw that response.
I think he's mad that I didn't RSVP, and then I got a text about 2 hours ago.
Why wouldn't you RSVP?
I forgot to tell my fiance that we had an opportunity. How about I write you a check for the orphanage?
That would be fantastic. Or KBN could as well.
Yeah, Kyle,
Benny, that better be 4 digits. 4 digits, Benny. 4 digits to make up for this. 4-digit check.
Okay, all right. Now I'm sick of him, Kyle.
Hey, JB, hey, shout out to little MLK you got, man.
Did you? Wait, what?
I showed Kyle that Wayne, who you adopted, was MLK at the school.
I like that.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell. Kids say the darnest things, okay?
What?
Was he not MLK?
Wayne, he was, but it gets really good. All right, so I get home and he's working on his wax museum stuff, and he's doing his note cards. And I said, Wayne, why did you pick who you picked? He goes, because I like him. I said, okay, Wayne, can you tell me some things you like about him?
Oh, no.
And he goes, and Carly looks at him and she goes, it's because he loves God, right, Wayne? Yeah, he loves God. I said, Wayne, how about from you? What do you like about him? And 20 seconds later, Caroline walks up and goes, Dad, they have the same skin.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Listen what y'all teach that boy about Dr. MLK.
They made him MLK, but they didn't educate him. He's a Brust.
Well, tell him who his great uncle is. Great uncle.
Great Uncle John Adams.
Uncle John loved him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, JB. Oh, I mean, I was happy that he was MLK.
You know, I don't. I had
Benny, be careful.
No, I'm good. I was the one who had Rosa Parks in the wrong era.
Well, we can correct those.
Could we FaceTime my nephew to educate him?
We're gonna have Black History Month with your nephew.
Sounds good. in February for Wayne Brust, we're gonna send a fact a day via email.
Hey, just tell all he gotta do is say, "I have a dream." One day.
Hey, he's in the play. I have a dream.
That's all
everyone's gonna start
clapping up. Yeah, look at Wayne do his thing.
More next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's pretty good.
I
either
crush him or
suck at him. He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it is.
Whoa.
That's what acting is.
Why can't we come together?
Yeah, you were very creative in faking it. Good job.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Starting off with a little bit of delays on 41 southbound from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Burleigh. We've got southbound 43 as well, backed up from Capitol Drive down past Locust. And westbound 94, watch for delays out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 storm team forecast tonight, raising temperatures, mostly cloudy with a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and mild rain moves in later on with a high of 40. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join their two-man scramble tournament and play Whistling Straits for a chance to win cash through the 31st. Sign up at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's a potential playoff preview on Sunday night in Seattle.
Going to Seattle is always a chore. I mean, that is a tough place to play. I think they got a lot of talented players.
A primetime Green Bay game day happens Sunday ahead of the Green and Gold taking on the Seahawks. Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Join Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, ESPN legend John Anderson, and future Green and Gold Hall of Famer Brian Balaga. Sunday starting at 4 p.m. right here on 94.5 ESPN and at ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page.
Hi, Monica.
This is our WOW engagement ring for Christmas.
Wow.
Wow.
It features a 1-carat created diamond center stone.
Completely surrounded by a halo of little created diamonds that makes it look huge.
And each of those 3 bands is covered in diamonds.
I've never seen anything like it.
2 carats total weight.
There's no way this is less than $5,000.
No, we're selling these for half that much.
$24.98? I need to lie down and put a cool rag on my forehead.
And you can choose a 1-carat round, oval, or radiant diamond as your center stone.
Kessler's is the coolest store in the world.
But there's more. Look at this.
It's a matching pendant. Take that rag off your head and get up, Rick. You have to see this.
How big is that?
It's a 1.5-carat created diamond, surrounded by the same halo of little created diamonds. 2 1/3 carats total weight.
This tag says it's just $1,998.
See it for yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
'Tis the season of giving. Ho, ho, ho! At your nearby Milwaukee metro region, Hunis Auto Group dealerships. Hunis is the area's #1 rated car, truck, SUV, and EV holiday headquarters. During our exclusive Season of Savings sales event, we're offering our biggest discounts of the year on our entire inventory of America's best-selling brands from Buick and GMC at nearby Hunis locations in both Oak Creek and Greenfield. Thinking pre-owned? Your local Hunis dealership has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and hybrids, starting as low as $39.95 and payments as low as $199 per month. We're paying above top Kelley Blue Book values on all trade-ins, no matter the mileage or condition. Now that's giving even Santa would be proud of. Ho, ho, ho! Our huge Season of Savings sales event is going on now, exclusively at your nearby Milwaukee metro region Hunis Auto Group dealerships or online at shophunis.com. From the Hunis Auto Group family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman. Strofe is hanging out at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. Chris Larson running the show here for us at the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Studios. Josh DiMaggio, producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Mornings 7 and 9 on 94.5 ESPN, slid into the chair next to Alex Strofe as Chewy was out, as they had their little Dude Friday. And I say little
Josh,
because there was no Mark Chmura.
Oh, little dudes?
Yeah, just the little dudes. Josh and Alex. Alex Strofe. Yesterday on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, Brad Nortman, our guy who's not here today.
Nerdman, yeah.
Brad Nerdman gave some defensive statistics about the Green Bay Packers and essentially saying the defense is no different than what they've been the last couple years. Is that
bad
fair?
take by him. That's what he said. It's not fair, but it's what he said, yes.
Okay, I mean, I didn't ask your take. I'm just trying to...
Wow, really defensive here.
Well, you asked my take. You said, is it fair? Yeah.
You didn't say
Kyle,
that yesterday.
Kyle,
You didn't say it yesterday.
Kyle! Yes, because I got out of the way because as the producer of the show, sometimes you don't take over. I'm not very good at that most times, but yesterday I was. Kyle, you are the biggest flip-flopping, go-with-the-wind crap I've ever heard.
I haven't flip-flopped anything.
You were on my side yesterday. I'm the bad guy.
No. Your words are stronger today. You called them Nerdman. You said it was because we specifically said Strofe.
I call him Nerdman every day.
Wasn't he the judge and the jury yesterday?
You know, it is funny how 95 miles away he's talking crap to Brad who can't defend himself.
Exactly. You were real soft yesterday. You didn't say all the negative words.
I picked you.
Yesterday, but you didn't say Nerdman. That was stupid. That was the thing. You didn't say that. You said I gotta go with Kyle. You didn't go hard yesterday on Nerdman. You called him Brad.
So
yesterday.
Somebody who else thought that that Brad was wrong was Josh DiMaggio. Here's what Josh DiMaggio had to say in response to Brad Nortman yesterday, saying the defense is very similar this year to last.
Brad Nortman kind of skipped right over the turnovers thing. The Green Bay Packers are third in the NFL when it comes to turnovers. Turnovers, as a stat for the defenses, are one of the most important. You are taking the ball away from them and giving it to your offense. To breeze over that, I think, was a massive misstep because, well, it didn't fit the narrative. So to ignore all those numbers I just pointed out and ignore how different it feels, in addition to the turnovers, seems to be not telling the complete story. And I understand the defense at times has not felt that great, but this is the NFL. Those guys on the other side are getting paid just as much.
Josh DiMaggio took some very strong words to Brad. What Strofe, I should have gave more direction. He's mentioning DVOA, EPA, net yards gained. Josh DiMaggio is a loser, an absolute loser. He comes at Brad Nerdman and then is saying he's reading the definitions of defensive rating systems all across the internet to prove a point. When all you have to say is what did you say yesterday, Kyle?
Wins and losses, eye test, yeah.
Use your damn eyes. I don't see Tommy DeVito running for 200 yards.
Yep.
I don't see Baker Mayfield with a perfect passer rating at Lambeau Field. I don't see the Carolina Panthers come into here with the worst offense of the NFL and put up 20-plus points. This defense, although they are flawed, it is crazy to say that they are anywhere near what Joe Barry's defense was last year. There was historical stuff happening. There has been nothing historically bad that has happened to the Green Bay defense this year.
So this is my question, because you're absolutely right, but I know how this came about. You listened to Joshy today on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and you didn't like what he had to say. You thought he did too much nerdy
and didn't say he was stupid on Jenny, Gabe, and Chewy, but he comes here ripping Brad.
And so my thing is this. You guys are harsh on each other, man. You guys are tough. Just tough. You and Joshy work together, and then you hear him, you're like, I got to rip into him.
Kyle soft.
I've
Kyle
known
soft.
Josh for 6 years.
Wait a minute. I'm soft how?
Because you've got major Gen Z energy today. You're complaining about how everybody's talking, and you're complaining about how the Packers aren't very good anymore.
Noises,
you got
noises. Everyone be quiet.
Major Gen Z energy today, dude.
Okay.
Got to figure it out.
Strofe can never do the show for Madison again because he got a slick mouth. He got a real slick mouth. Okay?
Yeah.
He talking real
95
greasy.
miles away.
Yeah,
String beans, real tough.
Real greasy. This is the most aggressive he's been for a long time.
Jim in Saltville, 800-990-3776. We're trying to figure out why everyone is uneasy about the Packer game on Sunday night against the Seattle Seahawks. What's your take?
Yeah, first of all, with regards to, of course I'm uneasy because it's a challenge, the record, and from watching them, especially they look like they have a new running back that has some chops to him. But with regards to what you guys were talking about before, I'd say if they beat Seattle, they're somewhere between a pretender and contender. But if they also beat Minnesota, they are a contender. In terms of terminology, for whatever that's worth. But I got a question for you guys. At what point, at the beginning of the season, I think we all agreed that we had optimism, we had hopes. The anticipation was that this Packer team could grow into a contender, could compete for a Super Bowl. At what point, or do you see a point during this season where you just say, it ain't going to happen, the ceiling isn't there, and we have to change. We have to replace some players on this team.
I like this, Jim.
Level.
Jim, I like where you're heading with this question here. I don't think it's about the players, but I think it's about the season right now. I think where I like where Jim is going is we've gotten to the point where Tausch came on with us Tuesday, and he flat out asked all three of us on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, do you believe this team can string together 4 wins to win a Super Bowl based off what we know? And I think if I had to pinpoint one moment of the season in which I would say, hey, this is why I had to reshape my expectations, I don't think I can do it. I think it is an accumulation of just an NFL season. Jordan Love starts the year injured. Malik Willis did a masterful job against 2 bad teams, but it's not an easy task as a backup to come in after he's in the building for like 2 weeks, learn a limited offense, run the ball with Josh Jacobs, run the ball with Malik Willis. Malik Willis make plays with his arm in key moments for them to get those wins. Jordan Love's comes back, re-injures himself in a different part of his body. So when you paid your quarterback to play as well as we expected him to play based off his performance last year, and he really hasn't reached that consistently yet, plus adding a new defensive coordinator with the kicker struggles, it's just been a disjointed season. But why I still am not at the point of giving up is because I saw Jordan Love last year. And I can't get myself to even listen to Kyle say they're pretenders until the playoffs, because I still feel like why the Packers became contenders last year is because what Jordan Love showed us in the second half of last year. And I'm going to keep hanging my hat on that until he doesn't do it.
The Packers weren't contenders last year in most people's eyes. Like, stop. A lot of people
then that's baloney for you to say they're one possession away of beating the Niners.
I was confident in the Green Bay Packers and hopeful. I didn't think they were going to win the Super Bowl last year, but I thought, this was all, it was all house
Then
money.
forget expectations last year. From the second half of the season to the end of the 49ers game, expectations shot up for this team this year.
They sure did. And I still believe in this Green Bay Packers football team because for me, they've proven to me that they can hang with anybody in the NFL, right? They can score with anybody in the NFL, but then also they take care of business. And the most important thing you can do is handling business when you are supposed to beat a team. That is tough to do in the NFL, and to have no blemishes against a bad team, that's impressive. That to me is a sign of a very good football team that's cracking at it.
But here's a sign of a football team that is, when I see somewhere in between contenders and pretenders from Jim and Saukville, I see Dave from Aaron. Even though the season isn't over, if you had to guess the positions in the first 3 rounds of the draft the Packers would select, what do you say? Do you know who talks about draft picks in the middle of the season?
Losers.
So that is why I am so confused why everyone feels uneasy. And here's how you solve uneasiness. Pizza.
Oh, I love me some pizza.
Frozen Pizza Friday. May have a little game night at the Brust household tonight.
Oh, no invite for me, but that's okay.
And none for me either, Kyle.
I knew you were at the 608 basketball tournament.
Otherwise, he would have invited me.
Yes.
Baloney.
Baloney is correct. Screamin' Sicilian Pizza is on the menu, and I'm actually going to get a smorgasbord. I'm going to do a thin and crispy, a tavern style, and an OG Screamin'. 3 different Screamins tonight for Frozen Pizza Game Night Friday. And because I love KBN Nation so much, now it's the time to get caller number 10 to win a Screamin' Sicilian Pizza prize pack, courtesy of our great friends at Palermo's. We love Frozen Pizza Friday. 800-990-3776. Caller 10, you're going to win some coupons for pizza, maybe a pizza cutter, maybe some Palermo swag. You never know what's going to be in the smorgasbord of the Screamin' Sicilian Screamin' Pizza Friday giveaway. 800-990-3776. Caller 10 is going to win a Screamin' Sicilian Pizza prize pack. 800-990-3776. Caller 10, you win, and you win when you stick around and listen to the Green Bay Props and Preview with Chris Larson asking the questions and Alex Strofe joining as Brad Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You should be happy Pac-Man Jones had this on his headphones, or he definitely would have pulled it up on you.
I think Pac-Man's lucky I didn't have this on my headphones.
Oh, you right.
I would have been. I'm really feeling swaggy and confident.
You say, yeah, you're in my space. What you gonna do?
Because even just hearing the song, like, for those who on the YouTube, they can see I'm bobbing my head right now. Like, this is like, okay.
Go ahead, say ski.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We've got some delays along 41 southbound. Part of the problem is an accident just south of Appleton Avenue on the left shoulder, but those delays continue past that all the way down past Capitol Drive. Southbound on 43, backing up from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise. Westbound 94, you're hitting the brakes at 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is backed up from just before 76th Street all the way to 35th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, rising temperatures, mostly cloudy, a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and mild. Rain moves in later on with a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
It's the holiday season, a special time to celebrate with family, friends, and coworkers. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Let us help you with your holiday celebration. Whether you're having a small family gathering, a bigger bash with friends and relatives, or a company party, we've got everything you need at the lowest prices in town. Discount Liquor is your one-stop gift shop with over 100 varieties of liquor, beer, and wine gift sets for everyone on your list. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com and And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe holiday season.
Discount Liquor.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting their first ever tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a two-man scramble at Whistling Straits, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through December 31st. Your winter chance to play Whistling Straits awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Winter is here. Don't let your car care take a backseat. Protect your car against rust, salt, and grime this season at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with their state-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and convenient unlimited wash memberships. Try their new best-in-class T2 with graphene wash for the ultimate long-lasting shine and protection. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. There's no wrapping needed, and this season you can try their newest holiday pastry, Eggnog Kringle, created to bring festive cheer to your celebration. Filled with rich, creamy eggnog and topped with sweet icing and a sprinkle of cinnamon, it's perfect for sharing with loved ones. Go to Kringle.com to order or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, it's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Like the good vibrations from Chris Larson running the show. Alex Strofe hanging out for 25 more minutes at the ESPN Madison studios. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace holding it down with you, KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. It's time now to get you ready for Sunday night. Our style Green Bay props and preview.
Here's an idea. Why don't you give me half the money you were going to bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
Gather around, degenerates. It's time for the GBPP. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman are here to tell you how they plan to lose their money this weekend. This is the Green Bay Props and Preview.
It is time for the Green Bay Props and Preview here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. I think I'm going to add Alex Strofe to the conversation.
Hey, El Strofe.
Kyle,
Shut up, Kyle.
So thrilled.
Strofe, I'm giving you a noogie when you come back here.
No, I'm putting you in the toilet. Upside down toilet.
Swirly.
What do they call that again? Swirly. Yeah, you're getting a swirly.
You can't even pick me up.
Oh, yes, I can. You're light work.
You can't even do a push-up.
I beat up. Guys like you are a dime a dozen. I beat up guys like you all the time.
Strofe, I destroyed you in arm
dime
wrestling
a dozen.
after arm wrestling somebody else. Stop.
Kyle. Guys like you, dime a dozen.
It's so insufferable to listen to two weak individuals talk trash to each other.
I'm not weak. Listen, I may not be Mike Tyson, but hell, I got the heart of a lion.
Arr.
The heart of a what?
Tiger, I bet. Yeah,
And the stripes of a liger.
Yeah.
Chris, what we got?
All right. Packers props and previews, easy for me to say. Packers Seahawks Sunday night. Packers favored by 2.5. But the over-under for the game is 46. So you taking the over or the under? Total 46 points between both teams.
I like the under here. The way the Seahawks have been playing, they've been winning games with defense. Mike Macdonald, their head coach, comes from a defensive-minded head coach and scheme as he was the defensive coordinator with the Ravens. We've seen the Ravens struggle a little bit here as of late, but the Seahawks have been winning low number. I don't see a lot of points in this game on the road. We've seen the Packers hurt themselves with penalties in these situations. I'm looking at a 23 to 17-ish game personally.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that whatsoever. I think the Green Bay Packers, one thing they've been able to do is score pretty consistently, especially since they came back. I know the game against the Bears, they didn't score as many points, but they've had 30 points in their last 3 games. I think they don't score 30 today, but I think they put up a lot of points, and I look like it's going to be barely over this as the Green Bay Packers score at least 24 points.
Well, naturally, I am the anti-Kyle and the pro-Benny. I am on the under here as well. I think it's close. I think it's ugly. I think it's relatively low scoring. I think the 23-17 sounds about the wheelhouse I'm operating in as well. So I'm Team Benny here. I'm also on the under.
All right, let's go over to Jordan Love here, showing signs of what he was at the end of last season. Over-under for this game, 238.5 total passing yards for the Packers quarterback. He's thrown for more than that in 3 of his last 5 games, just so you're aware.
Ah, man, this is such a good one.
It's really good.
I'm just going to say over for the sake of Kyle and Brad's bet.
I appreciate that. Thinking about my pocketbook, thinking about my money. I'm going to say over because I feel like based off this game, the Green Bay Packers are going to have to throw the football. I understand Josh Jacobs is going to have a day, but I feel like it's just something here where the Packers might be trailing at some point, and they'll need the arm of Jordan Love to bring them back into the game.
I'm Team Kyle here.
And
upset
Ben.
of the century. Yeah,
we both said over.
I know, but I'm more focusing on Kyle because I like getting under his skin. I think Kyle's analysis is totally right, though. I think it's going to be a late game hit. I mean, he'll be right in that wheelhouse of, what'd you say it was, Chris, 238.5?
238.5.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be right in that wheelhouse of 250, 260. Would love to see him throw for 300 yards. He's only done that once this season. But, I would say just over 238.5.
Not going to do over-under for this next one here, but who is going to lead the Packers in receiving in this game coming up on Sunday?
I like this question a lot.
It's a good question.
Not because I thought of it, but because I really don't know.
Oh, I do.
This is a dartboard. This is the Alex Strofe dartboard. Put Christian Watson's head, put Jaden Reed's head, put Tucker Kraft's head. Shoot, put Josh Jacobs' head on there. I don't know who it's going to be.
Bro, I'm telling you this right
now.
now.
If you guys are Mr. Prognosticators, go ahead.
I feel pretty good about mine.
The last time somebody, and this isn't the case, but the last time they put an emphasis on getting somebody to football, what did Romeo Dobbs go out and do?
2 tutties.
And so, once again,
smiling, happy.
Matt LaFleur needs to make sure Jaden Reed, who kept a positive attitude this week, is smiling and happy, and you need to make sure he's getting the football because he's going to be a key piece to the success you want to have for the rest of the season, but also in the playoffs. You got to get him going, and I think they make that a point of emphasis, getting the ball to Jaden Reed. So Jaden Reed is going to lead the Green Bay Packers in receiving yards on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked all season about hoping somebody takes that next step. Continues to evolve in the leading wide receiver. I think you can only make the case the last couple of weeks that one guy has done that, and I think it continues tomorrow night in Seattle. Give me Christian Watson, Kyle's boy.
I'm with Strofe because as I started thinking about this and the way I feel as if the Packers need to attack this game, they either need to have in their first possession a really good sustained drive, whether they get the ball first off the kick or next possession. But part of me thinks in that environment, taking a shot on play action with how much emphasis the Packers have put on Josh Jacobs might be there for old C. Watt right off the bat. I'm with Strofe.
Yeah!
Oh, okay. Cool, Strofe. Glad.
Thanks, Kyle.
I'm glad Brust could make you so excited and happy. That's weird.
Yeah!
Cool. You know he sent you a text message?
I saw.
Oh, 7 years ago today, look what happened.
Well, give some context.
Oh, so we're all in a group text, and we get a text message from Strofe. 7 years ago today, it seems like he invited Ben Brust onto his little podcast.
Little podcast?
Is that true, your little podcast? Did that happen 7 years ago?
Yeah, 7 years ago today. R.I.P. to the bandwagon of sports podcast. Thanks, Benny.
You're welcome. Happy to help you get to where you are today, which is right with me every day.
You've been chasing,
happy friendiversary.
You've been chasing Ben Brust since you was in.
Yeah, I'm a jersey chaser. What can I say? But
ain't nothing I ain't used to.
But right, exactly. Thing is, we talked to your fiance about it earlier this week. She's a jersey chaser. I'm a jersy chaser. And look where we are.
See, I told you.
95 miles away. You real smart with that mouth.
That's a legitimate conversation. We had that conversation this week.
That was not the end result.
That was not the end result.
That is disrespectful.
That is very
disrespectful. I told you.
No. I'm serious. You better apologize to my fiance, not to me, but to my fiance right now.
Live. Ooh.
You're going to get your ass kicked.
You getting jumped on Monday.
No,
boy.
I'm serious. While I give him a swirly, you punch him right in the stomach.
I'm going to do that. I told you got real slick at the mouth now that you're away from us.
I know. It's real funny, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is real funny.
All right, Chris, what we
We
got?
wrap up Packers props and previews here with that stadium atmosphere that Ben talked about. Lumen Field, place is going to be rocking. It's going to be electric. Sunday Night Football, the 12th man, supporting their Seattle Seahawks. Packers offensive line, false starts due to crowd noise, over under 2.5.
Under. This offensive line has been playing well, less penalties. I know we had a couple, angry penalties last week. Unnecessary.
True.
But other than that, this Green Bay Packers offensive line has been more consistent. They haven't had as many penalties. And let me just say, bravo to this football team and Matt LaFleur, because we had so many different issues going into the bye week that we were discussing, and they cleaned up most of that. They're not suffering as many penalties as they were before the bye week. They still have a couple drops, but the drops aren't as frequent with multiple receivers. And then on top of that, Jordan Love not turning the football over as well. Special teams, we haven't even talked about special teams ever since the bye week. So overall, bravo to Matt LaFleur showing how good of a football coach he is. So when it comes to this, I say less than 2.5 false starts.
I'll go under 2. I'm hoping, and based off how I say this, is that the first half of the Lions game of having to go to the silent count was just like good practice for what they have to endure in a whole game in Seattle. And that's it for Green Bay props and preview. I don't want to hear from the loser out in Madison.
I was going to say unanimous. We're all in lockstep.
Excuse me, Chris, pot him down, please. I'm done with him. But I'm never done with Potawatomi Casino Hotel and the brand new sports book. A 2,000 square foot video wall, the best place in the world to watch anything in the world that is sports related. Check out their 200 seating. I mean, you got booths, you got chairs, you got everything you need. The restaurant dubbed the kitchen, full bar. And if you're in a rush, you can go hop in the 20-minute reserved parking spaces. Go in, go out, boom, bang, bop, bada, bop, boop, pow. You can use your rewards card for bets on certain kiosks. Build your bets right now at paysbig.com/sportsbook. Make it a speedy process in and out if you need, or stick around and enjoy the best place in the world. Bada, bop, boop, pow. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Pow! That's right, Chris. The grand reveal. What does Kyle think's going to actually happen? He thinks they may lose, but will he change his mind in the next 5 minutes? We'll find out.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I put my card in, I pump. When it clicks, I pull it out, I put it away, and I move on to my own.
That's what she said. Thanks so much, Olte.
She pumps and moves on with her life.
Take it out, put it in, move on.
That's what she said.
Come on, Kyle. Keep up. That's Packers Hall of Famer. That was one of my better ones, and he's confused.
Well,
he's still fixated on Lola Bunny.
No, I don't think she says that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put two.
I got it. I could not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you too, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The time has come.
Yes, the time has come to do what you need to do.
You've put it off as long as you can, but the time has come to choose a Christmas gift for the woman you love.
It needs to be something that will fit perfectly.
Something she will wear constantly.
Something she will love.
Something you can buy today and take home today.
Because you ran out of time. Christmas is upon us.
It's time for you to buy a fabulous pair of diamond stud earrings.
A fabulous pair.
Kessler's has natural diamonds created in the heart of the earth.
And newborn diamonds created in the heart of a star.
And when you buy from Kessler's, you can always trade your Kessler's natural diamond studs in for a larger pair.
We have diamond studs for a few $100s.
And diamond studs for several $1,000s.
2-carat total weight natural diamond studs are just $5,998.
She's going to be extremely happy when she sees what you bought for her.
And that's a good thing.
A very, very good thing.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
College hockey returns to Fiserv Forum with the 4th annual Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off, December 28th and 29th.
The Wisconsin Badgers return to defend their title, facing the Ferris State Bulldogs in semifinal action on day one. The Yukon Huskies and Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks will battle for the other spot in the championship game.
Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Secure your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
It's the year-end rate reduction sales event at Ewald Automotive Group. Get rates as low as 4.9% on our best used cars and make no payments for 90 days. 4.9% and no payments till March 2025 on over 600 vehicles at 10 Ewald Automotive Group locations. Don't wait. Get a better rate during the year-end rate reduction sales event. Get to your nearest Ewald location today.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
With approved credit, interest accrues from date of purchase. Expires month end.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home, to a generator to keep your lights on, or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Nothing more that I love than talking about Gina Della from Pella. If you've heard her talking about Santa Claus on the commercials, and she's going to be really, really nice to you by creating a magical opportunity, just like Santa Claus is. His elves can't build windows, but her team can, and they can customize it for you. So take advantage of Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions apply. It ends at the end of the year. And I can tell you that when Joe and Gina came to my house for the consultation, it made everything worth it because I knew I was investing in a product that was going to help my home value. It was going to help my house be more energy efficient. And it was going to help my house become more beautiful. So make sure you call 855-PELLA-WI or visit PELLAWI.com. Get that consultation with Gina and Joe and their team. And then when you're ready to pull that trigger, you can do it at any time with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Time now for the grand reveal. Kyle Wallace works all week until 3:50, and he wants to let you know how he's prognosticating this week's game.
You've been waiting for it all week. The segment where all the pieces come together. If they get it right, you'll hear about it. If they get it wrong, well, you already know. It's prediction time.
I got a prediction for Monday morning at 8 o'clock. As soon as Alex Strofe walks into the Good Karma Brands offices, I got a knuckle sandwich waiting for his ass.
Hey, Strofe.
Hey, Kyle.
What did the 5 finger say to the face?
Slap!
Yep, that's going to be you on Monday. You're going to learn today.
Strofe, are you going to make a prediction, or do we all have to wait until Green Bay Game Day pregame show?
Since you're mad at me, I'm actually going to let you decide.
Oh, my gosh.
You're so
soft.
Jeez.
We're back on the radio, and he's carrying over off-the-air conversations onto the radio.
Since you're mad at me. Sorry,
You just said you were going to punch me. What do you mean? How was that an off-the-record comment? You just said you were going to punch me.
No, I said I was going to give you a knuckle sandwich. I didn't say how hard I was going to give you a knuckle sandwich.
That implies you're mad, no?
I'll give you a hug. Just don't talk about my lady like that ever again. Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, Alex Strofe in for Brad Nortman for this segment. Alex, tell us how you prognosticate this Green Bay Packers Seattle Seahawks Sunday night football game.
Well, it ain't good. I'll tell you that. I'm picking the Seahawks.
All right, I'm going to tell you what just happened, guys. Strofe hosted Jen, Gabe, and Chewy a lot this week. And you know what Chewy on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy likes to call Packers homers? Toads. And Strofe doesn't want to pick the Packers this week because he wants to get on the good graces of Mark Chmura, his new best friend, after hosting with him for a couple days this week. Fair?
No, not fair. I did not feel good about this game all week. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba's going to kill us, especially with no Jair and no Javon Bullard. I've got the Seahawks, not in a pretty one, 21-17.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Keyshawn Nixon slides on the inside and he got paid top dollar to be a kick returner in a league that no longer can be kick returners. And he plays corner for us, and hopefully you got a guy. I don't know if Corey Ballantyne's going to be back or not. Eric
Valentine
Stokes.
is full participant, but still questionable.
Well,
he's going to play.
We need to have as many cornerbacks
Jair
on the outside,
out, Bullard out.
It's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough.
Evan Williams in.
Which is good. But overall, when I look at this football game, listen, Linda, I understand. We are all nervous about this game. We're talking about going to a place that we have had so many bad memories against Seattle in a game that really matters for the Green Bay Packers because a victory gets them just an inch closer to finally clinching a playoff berth. So when I look at this football game, though I don't feel good about it, I still think the Green Bay Packers have an opportunity to go win this football game, but it falls on the shoulders of a couple people. Jeff Hafley, you must find a way to create pressure. And I say Jeff Hafley because you can't trust Kenny Clark. You can't trust Rashawn Gary. You can't trust Lucas Van Ness, even though I feel like he may have a day. You can't trust these guys to do it on their own. You're going to need to bring pressure on Sunday night in order to throw Geno Smith off his spot, because when you pressure Geno Smith, that's when mistakes can happen. So for this defense to be successful without Jair Alexander, without Javon Bullard, and with a limited defensive backing core, you must bring pressure and make bad decisions happen from Geno Smith. Now, offensively, the Seattle Seahawks, their defense has played very well. They've only allowed 15 points per game in the last 4 games. But they still cannot stop the run. So Josh Jacobs, you need to pound the rock and finish the rock into the end zone. So when the Green Bay Packers get into the red zone, we need to lean on the shoulders of Josh Jacobs to make sure we don't just score 3 points, but we score 7 points. And in J Love, you need to stay consistent. You need to also make sure you do not throw any interceptions and don't give the Seattle Seahawks any extra possessions. So with all that, when you put that formula together, fellas, I may not feel great about it, but I feel like I'm going to walk away Sunday night going to bed a happy camper and a surprise camper as the Green Bay Packers go off. Ribbit. I may be a toad or a frog, but I feel like the Green Bay Packers find a way to sneak this out 27-20 against the Seattle Seahawks and put another notch in their belt.
Nothing like sneaking out by 7 after having no confidence all day.
I feel like at the end of the day, Jordan Love is going to be able to put this team on his shoulders. And if the Green Bay Packers get into the red zone, they have been successful giving the ball to Josh Jacobs and pounding the ball into the end zone. You got a team that can't stop the run, and you got to take advantage of that.
I think I gave my prediction earlier, 23-17 Seattle.
Yeah, see, and this is what I understand. Why do you think Seattle's defense is going to be able to slow down our offense?
Couple of reasons. I feel like it's a weird letdown spot against the Lions. I do still believe, in my opinion, that Seattle has more to play for than the Packers, or I guess more to gain than the Packers. The Packers have something to play for to prove, but when you have more to gain in your playoff scenario, like the Seahawks do, in my opinion, feel as if that might pay dividends into the game flow, plus the crowd, the energy. There's a lot that's like, it's just an unpredictable Sunday night game.
So you don't believe in Jordan Love?
I don't believe in anything I've said all week about this game. Whatever I just said, do the opposite, because I don't know what I'm talking about with this game. I have no feel.
Would you be surprised if the Packers win on Sunday?
I wouldn't be surprised, no. Not at all. Damn Sports Show next in Beaver Dam. Jim, Matt, and Molly, and Madison. Kyle and I take you to 5 o'clock to the Homer Hour, 94.5 ESPN. And on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. We're back in 2 minutes.
Backups right now along southbound 41, stretching from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. There's an accident just south of Appleton Avenue as well, off on the left shoulder. That's something to keep in mind if you're heading through there. Southbound 43 also slowing down from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Back on the brakes from Lapham all the way down to the KK River crossing. Southbound 894 also seeing delays from just before Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange all the way to Forest Home. A couple more pockets of heavy traffic as you head out towards Loomis. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rising temperatures, mostly cloudy with a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and mild. Rain moves in later on with a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle, Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys. We making noise.
It's the 4-hour at 4 on KBN.
He's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust. No Brad Nortman. Ryan from Milwaukee chimes in. I know, is Gabe been out all week?
Has been.
I know he was Johnny Raincloud. I got a Benny Raincloud, I see. Brian's got the Packers by 2 tutters.
Wow. You know what, Brian? I'm not going to lie to you.
Ryan,
you know, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be very, very impressed if the Packers won by that much.
Anton chimes in, Seattle wins. Travis chimes in, too many Debbie Downers. The Packers are ascending. But I continue to go to the poll that speaks for the masses on Twitter at KBN ESPN. We asked you earlier in the show, do you have an uneasy feeling the Packers are going to lose on Sunday against the Seahawks? 56% of the people say yes.
You know what's interesting about this as well, because KBN Nation, not only are we on Twitter X at KBN ESPN, but also on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and there also is the same exact poll there. We have almost 100 votes. 67% of people are saying yes there. This for
Which
me,
one?
ESPN Milwaukee.
Which one? What was the poll?
Do you have an uneasy feeling that the hashtag Packers are going to lose?
So we double polled it.
We double polled, and both of the results are showing that most Packers fans are uneasy. In a season where the Packers have shown you that they are a solid football team, that Jordan Love in the last 4 weeks has stopped turning the ball over. He had one not bad decision, but one bad pass. He's been better. He's been able to maneuver in the pocket, right? He looks healthy. You got Josh Jacobs running the football, scoring a lot of touchdowns. But still, when you're going out west after almost beating the best team in the NFL, we are still uneasy about playing the Seattle Seahawks. That is just weird energy that we have as Packers fans, and it's unexplainable. It is extremely unexplainable why we do not feel confident, because we should feel confident. In a normal year, when you beat everybody who's not great, and you're playing a not great team. You're coming off a nail biter where you basically came down to the final seconds where they kicked the field goal. They had to go for it on 4th down in order to truly put you away. And now you have an opportunity to beat a team out west, and you don't think your team can do it. I'm telling y'all, this is odd energy, and I just don't know why.
And there's really no true reasons that have been given.
No, and there's so many times. Like, I'm telling you, Ben, it's so weird.
Are we all in touch with each other as Packer fans?
Something's going on.
Is there something in the air?
Something's in the air because
they send you some fan mail as an owner that y'all sniffed and they got you thinking a certain way?
Nah, I just feel like there just is that moment where you pick games, right? When you look at schedules, you just think there's got to be one that you lose, and this may be the one that fans feel uneasy about. And what's crazy is when you put up a poll last week of whether or not the Green Bay Packers could beat the Detroit Lions, more fans, or it had to be at least 50-50, where fans felt confident going into Detroit to win that football game. All right, who's out? Who's in?
No, but it's just wild that Brad Nortman texted in during the middle of our show.
Oh wow, Brad!
He wants to know the reasons as to why people are feeling uneasy. Brad Nortman, who's out today, chimes in. If this is the 4th best team in the NFC in regards to the Lions, Eagles, Vikings, then Packers, that should give you a lot of confidence that you can beat the Seattle Seahawks. There's any reason why one can articulate why you should not feel good about this game.
There's just some things that can't be explained, right? You can't explain where UFOs come from. You can't explain the Loch Ness Monster. And we can't explain why people feel uneasy about the Green Bay.
You can't explain the drones in New Jersey.
No, we can't. We cannot explain that. It's just an odd feeling because, again, when you just sit there and you break it down, I know Brad Nortman, as y'all like to call him because he likes to look at stats. When you statistically look at this game, the Seahawks have not beaten anybody really legit over the last 4 games in a winning streak. I give them credit for winning football games because it ain't easy. But overall, when you look up the different matchups that you have, when you talk about quarterback play, when you're talking about rushing attack, when you talk about offensive lines, their defensive line definitely gets more pressure than the Green Bay Packers defensive line. But overall, when you talk about who's a better football team, they're not in the same class as the Green Bay Packers. They're not a team anybody expects to make a run to the Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers are one of the 4 teams in the NFC that everybody believes has a shot. We're not number 1 in the pecking order, but we're right there as number 4 as that surprise team that can get hot and make a run. Nobody believes the Seattle Seahawks are going to get hot and make a run anywhere but one playoff game and maybe being done.
All right. Brad is firing stuff at me, and I love it. Fail Mary. Onside kick. Is it all this stuff about Seattle? Is it just the weird past? Is it the ghosts of the Seahawks?
No. If this game is played week 5 during the NFL season, I don't think we have that feeling, right? You've seen the success that the Green Bay Packers had all throughout the year. I'm telling you, I just feel like people are looking at this as a possibility where it's a trap game, or not even a trap game, but one of those games where you just got to take an L, man. Like, that's just natural. Being sports fans,
week to week, you're not going to win every game. Like, and you're not going to beat every team you're supposed to beat.
Last year against the Los Angeles Rams,
it's really unprecedented if we talk about this. The fact that they've lost to the Lions twice, the Vikings once, the Eagles once, and those are the 3 teams ahead of them. Everyone else,
taking care of business. And I want
to get back to that, Kyle, in a second, but as I mentioned, Ryan's Call Me Benny Rain Clouds, Packers by 2 tutters. He then follows that up with, they have been inconsistent and not healthy. I still think they will win by double digits this week. So even on the other side of the fence, for those who aren't feeling uneasy, that's not really giving me reasons as to why, other than you have a feeling.
Yeah, and then I think Strofe talked about it as well, and that's why I talked about the pass rush. Missing Jair Alexander is going to hurt. Missing Javon Bullard is going to hurt because they have some receiving threats. Though Lockett is coming down on his level of talent. He's descending. They still have some weapons, right? They still have an opportunity to potentially carve up a defensive backfield in a defense that hasn't been consistent the way that you want them to be consistent. So overall, when I look at this football game, I do think there's opportunities for the Seahawks to win, but again, it still doesn't explain why a lot of people feel uneasy.
Yeah, this is probably the least confident that I felt Packer fans have been all season. And it's all season. I'm talking about heading into a Vikings game, a Lions game, week 1 against the Eagles, another Lions game. You look around, and I'll be curious. So Madison Hayes, 24 on Instagram, who does a lot of our social medias at ESPN Milwaukee. Chris, I think you can pop her on there. Madison Hayes, I'd be curious. You send out a bunch of different emails to all of the ESPN Wisconsin talent. unsportsmanlike Evan Cohen, Michelle Smallman. You got Chewy. You got Tausch. You got Madison teammates, Milwaukee teammates. I'm going to be curious when you send out the graphic if this has the most L's next to the Green Bay Packers ever this entire season. What do you got for me? No, Mike? Go by Chris. Go by Chris, because I'm curious. I want you, and here's my follow-up to you as Madison Hayes joins us.
Hey. So far, it's just Chewy that's giving me an L. Everyone else has a W this week.
Oh, wow.
All right, well, you're going to get my L. Can you do some research for me?
Yeah.
Can you look back and find the game in which the most L's were put on a graphic by you on our social medias of all of our quote-unquote experts?
What do you mean
picking
quote-unquote
the game?
experts?
I can do that.
Who you quote-unquote? You ain't quote-unquote me.
Well, that's because you pick the Packers every week to win, I can't put you in an expert. That's why I do the air quotes.
I can't bring myself to pick the Packers to lose. The one time I did it last year, they ended up winning.
I forgot to mention, because I think you were curious.
Yeah, about what?
Edgerrin Cooper. Did I let you know he's back?
He is back. That's good. That's good to know that Edgerrin Cooper comes back, because that was a guy who was playing very well. I know he balled out against the Chicago Bears, ended up getting hurt. And so having him back gives you a lot more athleticism in the linebacking core, and also that helps you when it's talking about blitzing and getting pressure. That's something that he's been good at. He's been good at harassing the quarterback and getting pressure. In a game against a quarterback like Geno Smith, who does not perform well against pressure, he is susceptible to turning the ball over. You need to have somebody that can dip the shoulder under and harass the quarterback. So it's great to have Edgerrin Cooper back in this game. Hopefully he can be healthy and ready to go. Hammy's feeling good.
800-990-3776. Give us your thoughts and feedback on why you have a lack of confidence, or if you have confidence in this Green Bay Packers game on Sunday. Kyle, I need you to do what you always do and tell us how to upgrade your house the Kyle Wallace way.
Yeah, y'all, it's cold outside. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bird, it's cold outside. It must be some bad weather in the atmosphere, and I don't want you to have to deal with the bad weather in the atmosphere outside. You need to make sure your house is warm and cozy on the inside. So what I need for everybody to do, if you are considering switching up your windows, if you say we need to have something thicker, you're looking at your glass, it says, oh, a little frozen, is any hot air getting out of there? What I need you to do is I need you to call my friends at Universal Windows Direct. Don't thank me now, thank me later, because when you make that call at 414-410-2000 to Universal Windows Direct, they'll take a home visit to you and they'll let you know everything that they have. They have different products that you can utilize. They'll also take a look at your windows and say, hey, we can do this bay window, or hey, we can do this window in the bathroom, or hey, we can do this window out here in your basement. You want us to do this. They have so many unique options for you. But what I also love about them is I hate being pressured, right? I hate when people come to my house thinking they're going to pressure me to have to buy anything. What they do is they say, here are your options, and let us know what you want to do, because they know they can stand behind the quality of their windows. And that's why it comes with a true lifetime warranty with Universal Windows Direct. And then on top of that, they give you 5 years. That they give you 60 months to pay all this with interest-free payments, right? So when you make that payment, it's interest-free for 5 whole years. Make a great investment in your home that will pay you in the end, and that is with Universal Windows Direct. And always remember, for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. There is no limit. I want you to look around your house, start planning. Make that call at 414-410-2000 to schedule a free in-home estimate, your Universal Windows Direct, or visit uwd.com, and y'all, like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Per Madison Hayes 24 on ESPN Milwaukee's Instagram, where we put out the predictions for the
Damn, that was fast.
Lions-Packers first matchup at Lambeau Field before the bye, I believe. Was that before the bye? Yes, right before the bye. Toad Kyle Wallace had 27-24 Packers. Toad Mark Tauscher 31-24. So the 2 biggest Packer homers, as we pulled Kyle Wallace and Mark Tauscher, they both happened to win. 7 of the 12 of us did not.
Y'all were right. That's that 10% I'm wrong. You guys were right.
You know, that's twice you're wrong today, so that 10% might be getting closer to 20.
Well, I wasn't right. I wasn't wrong twice today. I was wrong weeks ago.
All right, whatever you tell yourself. But what I do know is that we always have an ESPN Wisconsin poll that is the worst poll of the week. Poll position presented by Great Lakes Dragaway is next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Oh, wow. North? Spread Eagle is way north. way north.
Stop. You're doing the thing where you don't know what you're doing.
No, it is, though.
We don't know where up north is.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Backups right now along southbound 41, stretching from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. There's an accident just south of Appleton Avenue as well, off on the left shoulder. That's something to keep in mind if you're heading through there. Southbound 43 also slowing down from Capitol Drive down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Back on the brakes from Lapham all the way down to the KK River crossing. Southbound 894 also seeing delays from just before Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange all the way to Forest Home. A couple more pockets of heavy traffic as you head out towards Loomis. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rising temperatures, mostly cloudy with a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and mild. Rain moves in later on with a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here with Brad Nortman, and we've got a holiday deal from Quintessa Aesthetic Center that you don't want to miss.
That's right, Jen. The holidays are coming up fast, and if you're looking for the perfect gift for that special woman in your life, or maybe you're interested in checking out Quintessa for yourself, we've got you covered.
Now, through December 20th, for every $100 gift card you buy, you'll get a $20 bonus card. It's a once-a-year deal to make her holiday unforgettable or treat yourself.
Visit myquintessa.com today to grab this special offer.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the win. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
College hockey returns to Fiserv Forum with the 4th annual Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off, December 28th and 29th.
The Wisconsin Badgers return to defend their title, facing the Ferris State Bulldogs in semifinal action on day one. The Yukon Huskies and Alaska Fairbanks Nanooks will battle for the other spot in the championship game.
Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Secure your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Year-end savings are here at Land Rover Waukesha. Unwrap a truly unique luxury SUV this holiday season. The new Range Rover Velar provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology. Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 72 months only on a new 2025 Range Rover Velar at Land Rover Waukesha. 3.9% APR for 72 months. A deal so nice, even Santa will want in. Get your mittens on the most luxurious ride this holiday season. LandRoverWaukesha.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Per Brad Nortman, the guy can't get enough of himself. He's like Alex Strofe. He's off the show and he's making comments about our show. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, Ben Brust, Kyle Walsh, Chris Larson running the show. Brad chimes in via text message. The Packers should view this game as a prelude to the playoffs. They're likely going to be headed out west into a tough environment, maybe even playing Seattle again. There's no better way to experience the playoff atmosphere and be in prime time than this weekend. I would be disappointed, he threw the D word out there, if they don't show up and win.
Sorry, making my dog picks.
Did you even listen to a word I said?
I listened to some of what you said. I saw the text message. I'm sorry.
I'm so disappointed right now.
I'm sorry, I'm making my underdog picks. I'm multitasking.
No. You weren't multitasking. You were doing a singular task and not paying attention to the radio show that you are paid to do while Brad is out, and I'm bringing Brad's perspective in for our Packer backer to react to.
I apologize.
I ain't reading that again. I'll tell you that much.
I got the message as well. I apologize. I've been slacking on sending Maddie this stuff until like Sunday morning. I sent it to her on Sunday morning, and she just don't respond. She leave me on red. She said, I ain't posting that.
I would leave you on red, too. I'm about to leave you on red and pull Devondre Campbell and say, I quit.
Pole position. Pole position.
Everyone's got their opinions, but we just happen to think some are better than others. Let's hit the polls. This is Pole Position. Pole Position on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is presented by Great Lakes Dragway, a quarter-mile-long drag strip, plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on the track. Find full event schedule and ticket information at GreatLakesDragway.com.
All right, Chris, I'm going to start us off here with the worst poll of the week. This was very easy to pick out. Guess where it came from?
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy?
Either that or Rutledge and Hamilton, because since
Jim, Matt, and Molly, get your crap together.
Oh, Jim, Matt, and Molly. Oh, bad.
Golly. I'm about to kick you out.
You can't kick
me and Chris get to do the show Homer style.
You can't kick me out. I'm here to 5 o'clock, baby.
Braden Locke has entered the transfer portal. Will the Badgers be better at quarterback next year than they were last season?
Yes.
By default.
Yes. I mean, they kicked Braden Locke off the team. I just want people to know that. They didn't kick him off, but they suggested that he transfer. He tried to politic his way into another season. He knew the writing on the wall. That's why he gave that long speech about how much he loves being the Badger. So, maybe his brother will be better than him.
I sure as damn well hope so. Chris, what do we got?
But for sure would have been is Chewy the modern day Nikola Tesla.
Oh, I did. I listened to that one. I kind of laughed at that one.
What
though.
was the point of that?
I have no idea.
It's not a path worth going down. We got to get to pole position.
All right, moving on here.
I don't have time to bring up all the context. Is what I'm saying.
Let's start with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here, which we can hear weekdays 7 to 9 across ESPN Milwaukee. Is the best part of a road trip sitting in silence and just enjoying the landscape? Yes, 67%. No, 33%.
I love this poll. I love nothing more than driving to a destination that I've never been so I can see different areas through the windshield. Even when I go on a boring drive, somehow I find those damn windmills entertaining. I'm looking for anything out there. Some ups, some downs, I'm looking for something to keep me excited on the road trip. Now you can say tunes, you can say snacks, you can say favorite drink, you can say the company, but when you likely experience a lot of those things the same. So when you get to discover new landscape, like even going up towards the Dells, you got like the bluffs.
I will say that is.
This gets fun to look at.
It definitely.
What do you like doing? You like doing this on the airplane? You ever like if it's not a cloudy day and they say, hey, and over to the left we have this area of the state.
They don't do that. I don't know. You're making up lies. They don't do that.
Well, they may not do that on your Spirit flights.
They don't do it on TVs. They only do it on TV shows.
Those pilots are more worried about keeping the plane together than letting the cabin know if there's anything to look at.
I love Spirit, but here's the thing, is that when I am on a road trip, you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at the road ahead, paying attention to traffic, because more than likely I'm doing driving, or I'm sleeping, or I'm making sure the person that I'm driving with, more than likely my brother, ain't texting and driving while I'm trying to, make it to where I need to go. But overall, no, I'm not really taking in the scenery like that. I'm focused on point A to point B. How can I get where I'm trying to go? And who road trips nowadays, right? Like, I guess people do, but like,
I have to.
You don't road trip. No, you're traveling. Those aren't a road trip.
Yeah.
A road trip is you're going to different locations.
I would love to road trip.
Hey, you don't have time to road trip.
That's why I said I would love to.
Yeah, like we're most working adults can't do that. And I'm jealous of the free-spirited people who just say, I'm going to quit my job and
buy this $5,000 van.
Yeah, get a little camper and just live off the world, just be free. I wish.
How do they do that?
Man, listen, they live a low lifestyle, and most of the times they've got mommy or daddy money.
Chris?
Not if you're a nomad, they don't.
That's, I guess.
All right, let's move on here. One more from Jen Game and Chewy here. Are the Green Bay Packers a good team or a playoff fraud? A good team, 71%. A fraud, 29%.
We're a good team.
I knew you couldn't get yourself to say it.
Dang fraud. I don't like that.
You called them a pretender.
But no.
Until the playoffs start.
I didn't. I said
It's such a weird take, by the way. They're pretenders until they have to play their best football.
No, nobody's going to give them credit for any victory. That's what that comes down to. The Packers, if they win on Sunday, they're going to find a reason to discredit it. If they beat the Minnesota Vikings, they're going to find a reason to discredit it. There's nothing the Packers can do that gets any credit until they get to the playoffs and they win a meaningful game. So to people, they're pretenders. But to me, they're not fraudulent. I think this Green Bay Packers team is a very good football team. And again, I said it before. They are not the number one team to win the Super Bowl this year out the NFC, but I think they have a good chance to get hot and make something happen.
I would love to know the definition of what playoff fraud means. You know what I mean? Because there may be some truth to the playoff fraudulentness if it's, hey, I don't think they can go past winning one game. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not a playoff fraud.
I mean, kind of is. Because isn't the playoffs ultimately about winning a Super Bowl?
No, you're considered a playoff fraud if you get past one game and then you play either the Eagles or you play
and then
the
you get
Lions.
stomped.
Yeah, you get smoked. But they've already shown throughout the season. Both those teams, they've lost by a field goal. They lost by 5 points, right? Like all these games, 10 points against the Lions the first time. Like they've been competitive in most of those games against really good football teams. So they're not fraudulent.
I just was having the discussion. Thank you, Kyle.
What did you give?
I know. I again. This week is going to be telling for me. Because of how uneasy I feel. Because I'm so uneasy and I don't have a pulse on what's going to happen Sunday. They're going to tell me what my pulse should have been.
The only thing you're going to say is that, they won. They're a good football team. You're not going to say it changes nothing about your playoff.
I told you, if they win 30-10 and then they take care of business against the Saints and then they beat up on the Vikings and take care of the Bears, if they run 4 straight, it will give me closer vibes to the second half resurgence last year while knowing they're a better team and don't have Joe Barry, and I will feel like they may be able to do something in the playoffs versus if they don't, it's kind of like 2-2, 3-1. It's just more of the same all year. I won't have that same oomph.
I think Brad said it earlier this week is the fact that the Green Bay Packers, until they beat somebody, it doesn't matter. Like none of this matters. They can run off all these. No, they can run off all these victories, but until they beat somebody in a game that matters, nobody is going to say, "Oh, bravo, that's great." You're because the thing
it's their
is
second bravo of the day.
No, but also you believe that this is that. Unless the pass rush changes, right? That's what Brad said earlier this week. Unless the pass rush changes and somebody comes save today, you still won't be confident in the Packers team.
You sound like a Packer hater,
no,
Chris.
I'm confident.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on here to Jim, Matt, and Molly, which you can hear weekdays 4 to 6 across 100.5 ESPN Madison. Are the Packers closer to the Lions or the Seahawks as contenders in the NFC? Closer to the Lions, 54%. Closer to the Seahawks, 46%.
I texted old Jim Rutledge after this question because I was like, damn, they got a good one. Yeah, but I texted Jim specifically.
From Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Yes, very good, Kyle. You got the show right. 4 to 6 on ESPN Madison. God, that's a good question.
It is.
I think they're closer to Seattle right now. I know that they've played Detroit tight last game, but ultimately they lost by double digits and they lost 34-31. They're closer to Seattle because like the top 3 have kind of separated themselves from a record standpoint. So I have to say they're closer to Seattle. If they beat Seattle, then you're starting to like create your own tier of like you got the top 3, Lions, Eagles, Vikings. Then you sort of put the Packers and the Commanders in the same area, and the other 2 from the West and the South finalize that tier.
I think overall, when you think about it, both of these football teams have failed to beat a really good football team. You look at the Seattle Seahawks and their schedule. When they play good football teams, they haven't won. They played against the Lions. They lost against the Lions. They played against the Bills. They lost by 21, right? So when you look at the Green Bay Packers schedule, they have failed to also beat really quality football teams. So when I evaluate it, I do think that the Packers are closer to being a very good football team with the Seahawks than being an elite football team with the Lions and the Eagles.
So do you agree with me? I got my NFC top 7 playoff tiers as it stands. Eagles, Lions, Vikings, tier 1. Tier 2, Commanders and Packers. This is no particular order.
Wow, you got the Commanders there too. You're sold on the Commanders? If they finish strong, then I'll be impressed. This is a big last 4 weeks for them.
I agree, but as it stands right now, I'm still with the tier 2, and then tier 3. The last 2 would be the NFC South winner and the NFC West winner.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I don't think there's a lot of debate there.
No, not at all right now, but I do think the Packers are clear-cut right now, the number 4 team. And even if they lose to Seattle, it won't change my mind about where their standing is when it comes to the tiers.
Lastly, Chris?
Let me wrap up pole position here with the Homer Hour, which you can hear next and every weekday from 5 to 6 across ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Beaver Dam. Which positional group on the Packers' defense still worries you the most? Defensive backs, 59%. Defensive line, 25%. Linebackers, 16%.
I know Rob Domofsky, and right now, 58, I'm sure the poll's finalized, 58% say the defensive backs. I think because the emergence of Xavier McKinney and everyone, like, defensive backs isn't just cornerbacks. If we would have said cornerbacks and, like outside and slot and, nickel package, I'd be like, you know what? Sure. But part of the defensive backs are 2 of the key cornerstones of this defense.
A guy who is leading in the NFL in interceptions. How can we watch this defensive line week after week not be able to get any pressure? And we're going to say the defensive backs? I mean, we are prisoners of the moment. You lose Jair and people are panicking. The D-line has been boo-boo. They have been underwhelming this entire season. We have been looking for somebody to come save the defensive line, and Jeff Hafley has done everything he can to generate pressure without just sending 4 guys, because those 4 guys cannot get it done. This is a bad result, bad votes by whoever voted on that poll.
And that's why I feel like every time I talk about this in the Green Bay Game Day postgame show, I'm like, who's going to be the dog of the game? I just want it, like, too many times it's not the guys we should have it be, right? If you're going to have a dog of the game segment, how many times are you going to want it to be Kenny Clark and Rashawn? You want that to be them. You want your dogs to be the interior guys, not saying Xavier McKinney. I like when it's Tucker Kraft. Like, I want interior guys,
the big tough
to be the ones that are rough-roughing on the Green Bay Game Day postgame show, brought to you by Sit Mean Sit. And if your dogs don't always listen to you, ask yourself, why don't they listen to what I say? Maybe you're the problem, as Kyle would say. Look no further than Sit Mean Sit, because they can help you. Get a consultation with them. Sit down with Matt, because you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog. Contact Sit Mean Sit Dog Training today in Milwaukee or Waukesha to schedule that free consultation. That's sitmeansit.com, and check out the Milwaukee and Waukesha pages. Before we get to Gary Ellerson, need some relationship advice. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
Wow. Just wow.
He sound good? We've been practicing.
I did it all last week. I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of my progress.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 41, backing up from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. We've got some backups as well on southbound 43. There's an accident right about at Locust, off on the right shoulder. So heads up with that. That's going to be tying things up. It's going to stay pretty heavy all the way down through the Marquette, all the way down to the KK River anyway. On eastbound 94, we do have some backups as you're making your way from 27th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes heading through the stadium interchange to 35th. And we've got westbound heavy from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And then again from Highway 100 all the way past Moreland Road to Calhoun. Back on the brakes from Meadowbrook Road all the way towards Highway 83. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, raising temperatures, mostly cloudy, a low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and mild. Rain moves in later on with a high of 40. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wins, and more wins are waiting to be uncovered at Potawatomi. Get ready to find yours in a winter stash of $300,000 in prizes this December. Play with your rewards card for entries, drawings on 3 thrilling Thursdays. Some seriously big wins are waiting for you. Winter Stash at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Rick, describe some of our wow Christmas gifts while Sarah and I name the prices and add a little commentary.
Okay. A 1.5 carat total weight diamond bolo bracelet.
Amazingly unique. Just $1,598.
Half carat total weight inside outside diamond hoop earrings.
Just $698.
1 carat total weight is just $898.
A fabulous 3 carat oval created diamond.
But we only have a few of these.
Just $3,998.
A 1 carat total weight created diamond tennis bracelet.
Just $898.
We also have the big 1 carat total weight natural diamond tennis bracelet for just $1,798.
And from now until Christmas, we have 18 months same as cash financing.
With approved credit.
And a delightful gift for you with every purchase of at least $300.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Where's that higher love I keep thinking of?
The content director at ESPN Milwaukee's name is Brian D. You maybe hear him a little bit here and there on our airwaves. But we spend some time with him around the office, and the poor guy had a bookshelf shipped to his home. He brought out the drill. Put the whole thing together, sent us a picture. He was a proud boy.
As he should have been very proud.
His wife comes home. Hey, Brian, that's not the right one. He had to disassemble the whole thing, send it back.
Oh, wow.
And go get another one.
Well, shout out to Brian for being the husband, the ideal husband you're supposed to be. Now, Brian not only got him some lover points because of the fact that his wonderful wife came home and she looked and she was like, this ain't the right one. And instead of being upset and mad about it, he took care of the problem. But he also not only got brownie points, he got him a little card he can put in his back pocket.
What's that card called?
That card is the card of when somebody has an issue with you, you can always reach in your back pocket and throw it back in their face later on and let them know, okay, why you got this attitude? Do you remember the time that I had to put this together and have to deassemble it because you ordered the wrong thing?
I love how you did the Michael Jackson into that. I just want to say that was just brilliant.
Yeah, and so I'm just saying he actually won. He might have lost and taken the L.
Lost the battle, but may win the war.
He has something.
Kyle, do you keep receipts in relationships?
So you know what, Ben? I'm growing. Okay, I'm growing.
Are you 800-990-3776? Do you keep receipts in your relationships, and do you use them?
I think it is important to let bygones be bygones and move on and move forward. I do. I really do. But I think it's important to always remind people of the things that you have done or the things that they have done, because relationships aren't perfect. You have your ups and your downs. Some are roller coasters. Some are, the raging bull, and some are little kitty roller coasters. But overall, when you have any issues in your relationship, you need to make sure that you keep those receipts for when you need to let people know they forgot who you was or they forgot who you were. So do I keep receipts? Absolutely. But 21-year-old Kyle, I kept too many receipts and I pulled them out way too often. Way too often.
Joining us now is said Brian D., who assembled a great bookshelf that got disassembled and sent back, moved
Brian
into
the Builder.
You guys are going to get me in trouble.
Why? No. You need to set the record straight or something? What we say?
No, I'm not setting the record straight on anything. My wife listens to your show. She loves your show, and now she thinks I'm keeping receipts on something.
No. We didn't say you were keeping receipts.
Didn't say that.
Kyle was basically saying that if he was you, he would be keeping the receipt.
This is a golden ticket. This is like Willy Wonka, baby. It's like,
I got a golden ticket.
Yeah, you sure do.
I said this to Benny earlier. I think I use receipts to diffuse situations. Right? I'm not using them as ammo. I'm more using it as like, okay, let's cool down. You remember that time I did that thing with the shelf, right? But in like a diffusing way, as opposed
cool
to like,
down.
Yeah,
I
think Tone's a big part of that.
I think that you and I are of the same brain here. If you pull out a receipt in a moment to try and diffuse the situation, it usually only goes the other direction.
You think it's gonna backfire on me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
I was really bummed about this because I was proud of my assembly. Like, it was the first time in my life. I'm 32. In my 32 years on this planet, it was the first time front to back I used all the pieces. I followed the directions.
No extra nuts
no extra
or bolts.
hardware. Like, it was, and it looked great. You guys saw the photo.
I loved it.
It looked beautiful. Didn't have the doors on it. She walked in. I was so proud of it.
I don't think she needs doors. I don't think she's got good taste, because what her man's put together was wonderful.
No, I ain't gonna say all that. I know his wife not very well, but I know his wife well. She got good taste. She knows what she likes.
She does.
She knows what she likes. So I know when she saw that, I know she didn't want to have to tell you and break the news to you, but hey, I know she knows what she likes.
Oh, it was crushing.
Yeah,
and
but
then
you got the golden ticket, man. You got the golden ticket.
I know, but deassembling the thing, even worse.
Yeah, that would be terrible. But like I said, you got
See,
the golden
the
ticket.
worst that happened to me was when I had the baby crib put together in the family room, moved the baby crib from the family room to what was supposed to be the room. The baby crib didn't fit through the door.
Ooh.
Moved back, Allen wrenched the whole thing, put it in the room, assembled it. 2 months later, bought a house, deassembled it.
Whose idea was the Allen wrench? That's got to be one of the worst inventions in the history of mankind.
And the way you're supposed to tighten it, you're always like reaching through things.
You're bending your arm this way.
Yeah.
And then what do they call it when you do it too much? You start like
you strip it.
Yes.
You strip the screw.
You strip an Allen wrench screw.
It's over with.
10 times out of 10, and then you're
It's hard to get
screwed.
it off. It definitely is hard to get it off. I'm not, like I say all the time, I'm not really a tools hands guy. Matter of fact, my wonderful woman also asked me to get something very similar, and I literally the day you told me, I said no, I'm not. I'm done doing all that. I put enough stuff together this last year. We're gonna have to do this 6 months from now. I'm not buying it.
I'm surprised with the week that you've had on this show talking about your lovely girlfriend. That you are doubling down on keeping receipts at this point of the week.
So this is. I just want
for those who missed it. Kyle Wallace called his girl out for letting everyone know that the Wallaces are not allowed to have tattoos. He is a dictator in his relationship.
You've been called controlling is the nice way to put it on this show this week.
What was it? Vladimir...
Kyle Mir Putin.
Kyle Mir Putin.
Or Kyle Mir Wooten. I mean, here's the thing. I just want everybody to know that what I love about my relationship specifically is that it's so loving. There's so much give and take, and we're both so happy.
This sounds so full of bleep.
We get the thing is we get to. She lets me be myself. There's nothing more beautiful than somebody understanding the wacko they are in love with. There's nothing more beautiful than that. And when she just smiles and laughs at the nonsense, she knows I keep receipts. But you know what? From the day one of the...
Do you still use receipts?
No, honestly, I use receipts, but receipts are typically put in place to be used to be like, hey, listen, you said this, and the end result isn't that. So let's try to get to that. Like I use it.
Oh, is that how you tell her?
I use it.
Is that how you explain it?
We use it to go in the same direction, to redirect. We get off course, right? We want to get back on course. I don't use it to call anybody out because I love her, and so I don't use the receipts for bad. I use my power for good.
You know what the interesting part of this conversation is we have to have a discussion about whether or not we keep receipts in our relationships. The flip side of the coin.
Everything is a receipt.
If your wives and girlfriends are anything like mine, they remember everything.
Isn't it insane? I ask her to monitor the asparagus by the air fryer. Oop, I forgot about it. They're a little burned. Anything else in my life, it's like an elephant. The elephant memory. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, I'm blessed and fortunate that my lover decides not to.
I don't like that.
Okay,
I don't like that.
The person I love.
There we go.
She doesn't really like to keep receipts like that. She moves
How
on.
does she not like to keep receipts? You are a walking receipt.
She does.
No,
you are a walking receipt.
Because
I'm a walking miracle. You're a walking receipt.
I'm a walking receipt, but what she says, she appreciates me. She understands there's no reason to keep receipts. That's why I'm saying it works out perfectly.
So,
it really does.
Brian, can you give some advice to Kyle before Gary Ellerson joins us?
Oh, GE. I'm sure he has a lot
He
of good
gets a little
advice
wacky on Friday at 4:48 when the Get Down On It comes on.
You want advice on how to conduct Gary's segment?
Yes, I can't control this man. He's asking about Gary if he likes feet.
Yeah,
that was a little unhinged. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what did we asked him something.
Our great teammate Molly Brown, downtown Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly at ESPN Madison.
She likes feet.
It came up on their show that she was posting photos of her pregnant feet. Is that what was going on?
She wasn't doing that. They asked if any of the fans would like Molly to send those.
Wow.
That's neither here
To
nor
each
there.
their own.
Wow.
That being said, you provided none of that context with GE and just said,
none.
Hey, Gary, do you like feet?
Thank you.
I know.
We never had an opportunity to get together as a show to air check that segment, so I wanted to take the opportunity while I have time with Brian to say, stop asking freaky questions to GE.
No, GE is gold when you ask him off-the-wall questions. He comes in here and he says, "Oh, forget that. Ben Brust, how was it being back on campus? What was it like, bro?"
Matt chimes in 800-990-3776. So, Kyle, your girl lets you be, but if she wants a tattoo, then you should have to do the same, you hypocrite.
She would tell me not to get the tattoo.
Oh, wow.
She wants to be a Wallace, and she knows exactly what it is. No tattoos over here.
Are we getting closer?
Are we getting closer?
Yeah,
that's right. The thing y'all did. What is it? The
propose?
No. The bet.
What's the bet?
Or time capsule.
Oh yeah, that was a question on the KBN.
Will Kyle
time
be
capsule.
engaged by the end of the Packers season? Well, if they win the Super Bowl, I could see him eloping.
Holidays are traditionally.
Oh, no.
No?
KBN Nation, this is what I learned. You never propose during the holiday season. Do not give her that ring on Christmas because that no longer.
Great. Now
it is a gift. It is a gift now. It is not. So if you get a divorce like 50% of people, that's hers. That's a gift. Do not propose on Christmas. Let that be a lesson.
Madison Hayes, don't listen to him. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to tell you about Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Brian, thank you for joining. Good luck on your next assembly. And thank you for the advice to make sure Gary Ellerson does great with us
There will
today.
be a next assembly, by the way. We ordered the right one, so I'll report back next week when that arrives. If it's orange, we're keeping it.
The odds that Brian puts together perfect this time, not as great as it was the first time. But if you want odds on the Green Bay Packers or any game that you love to watch, go to Potawatomi Sportsbook, 2,000 square foot video wall, a restaurant dubbed The Kitchen. They have it all there. A 2,000 square foot video wall. I know I already said that. I wanted to say it again because I need to reiterate how great it is there. Bet above the rest, paysbig.com/sportsbook. Gary Ellerson, stay tuned. Apparently he's gold, according to Kyle.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This 3-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota. Iota.
Yeah, that's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch. What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Last season, the Packers had to win their final 3 games to sneak into the playoffs at 9-8. This year, they're in a better position for a postseason berth with a 9-4 record. However, quarterback Jordan Love says the team is taking the same approach this year that it did last year at this time.
We're kind of in the same boat as last year. We were saying we got to win out. Our goal is to win every game to finish the stretch and obviously secure a playoff spot. But we're going to take it 1 week at a time. Obviously, all of our focus is to go get a win in Seattle this week.
The Packers look for win number 10 on Sunday when they visit the Seattle Seahawks. Kickoff from Lumen Field is at 7:20.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
First time building your own nest? Call Tri-City. We'll do the rest. Our hometown lenders will put you at ease. Your home building process will be a breeze. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 2-liter bottles, selected varieties, super chilled 2-liter soda, 2 for $3. 15 to 30 count selected varieties, solo cups, plates, or bowls, $3.99. 4 to 12 count selected varieties, Klondike ice cream bars, $4.49. 52-ounce selected varieties, Fairlife milk, $3.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Win free groceries from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Dummy.
Wrapping up Kyle, Brust, and Nortman before the Homer Hour from 5 to 6. I like the song because I like the vibe, and I don't know how I feel about the vibe of all of Packer Nation right now as we put out the poll at KBN ESPN. Do you have an uneasy feeling the Packers are going to lose on Sunday? 54% say yes. That is unlike Packer fans when they're favored against a team that nobody really thinks is that good.
Yep.
It's just odd.
And that's why I think it is that nobody believes this team is that good, and the Green Bay Packers had to get up for this game. I believe I saw some stat, maybe somebody from our great YouTube sent it in or something like that. There's a Honolulu, every time after you play the Lions, teams have lost the following week when they had to go to Detroit.
Yes.
Like
the Honolulu Blues.
Blues, yeah. And so I guess with the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, no. Why'd you tell me that? I forgot about that. I've been betting that trend.
Have you? And so this could be it. And on top of the Honolulu Blues,
it's like when Budenholzer was the coach of the Bucks, off of a loss, they were unbelievable, winning outright and crushing teams and winning against the spread.
Shout out to Booty. And so overall, so that's why a lot of people are just nervous about this football game. There's got to be one, man. I think people can't give you the exact reasons, the stats, because when you look at the stats, when you look at the matchup, the Green Bay Packers match up very well to the point that Vegas has them favored on the road, even though this team is one win apart. And then on top of that, the Seahawks are coming off a 4-game winning streak. But it's just something in the air that Green Bay Packers fans don't have the level of confidence needed in order to think that the Packers will for sure go out there and take care of the Seahawks.
Did you know you scared Gary Ellerson away?
Did I? G didn't answer?
Chris, what's the story?
He did not answer, no.
I tell you. So.
Look what you've done.
Yeah,
4:45. Apparently, he wanted to go right at 4:45. I'm guessing.
Yeah, he did. He did say he wanted to go at 4:45. It's not my fault. GE's a different character. He's an interesting guy, and I don't want to take blame for GE going left. He goes left by himself.
That's true.
He comes in.
Hey, come this way. Whoop.
No, he comes in wanting to go left. He waits for those questions. Remember when GE came on and he talked about some weird stuff about what he talked about with his mom and his sister?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a little different.
Yes. Just use your imagination if you're listening, because it could be whatever your imagination's thinking, because that's what GE might be thinking. That's why Kyle says when we go straight, he might go left. He might go right. He might go back.
A conversation you never plan on having with your mother or your sister.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. Kyle, you have said you also feel uneasy, but ultimately you do believe this team gets it done.
Yep.
I need the Packer backer and the Packer owner right now to not just tell me, but to share with me in full emotion as a Packer fan, because there's been no emotion this week. This has been the weirdest Packer week of all weeks this season.
You act like this isn't a big game, right, Packer Nation? Because if we win this football game against the Seattle Seahawks, you are that much closer to clinching a playoff berth. Because right now, though we have 9 wins, and 9 wins is all it took for us to get the 7th seed last year, so I think it made us a little complacent. The way that things are trending with the NFC, it looks like it's actually going to take a minimum of 10 wins or even 11 wins in order to secure a playoff berth. So this is a big game that we need to get up for. I understand we are deflated from over a week ago where we lost to the Detroit Lions. We had high hopes for this football team, but we should continue to have high hopes for this football team as they travel out against Seattle. I said it before. Jordan Love is a key component to this football game, and Josh Jacobs has been running the ball as one of the best running backs in the NFL. Top 3 running backs, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and him are the top 3 running backs in the NFL. Ben, do you know the last time that Josh Jacobs went out to Lumen Stadium out of Seattle?
I don't.
Last time he went there, he almost rushed for 300 yards.
Powerful.
And so this is the thing. It's a place
that's bad. Not apples to apples. Different coaches, different schemes.
Different coaches, different schemes, but he's in a better situation. You can't tell me where he's at right now is not better than where he was
That was my whole argument
Oakland.
when they signed him right away. I had said, guys, if he could be the league's leading rusher with the Raiders, could you imagine what he can do with Matt LaFleur?
And so overall, we have what it takes in order to offensively to break down the defense that they have. Defensively, it comes down to this. The rushing attack, it looks like Kenneth Walker is going to be out, so it looks like the Packers are going to be able to slow down the rushing attack, which they have done a pretty good job. Even last week, they were able to slow down the rushing attack. Now it comes down, can your defensive backing core hold up without Jair Alexander? I think the answer is yes. This is not a juggernaut football team. The Seahawks are just a good football team. The Green Bay Packers have taken care of business against every single good, bad, average, below average football team this season, and this is why you should be able to have the confidence to believe they will continue that trend on Sunday night against the Seattle Seahawks. Go Pack, go, baby.
Official prediction that you'll see on our Instagram, on Twitter, will be 23-17 Seahawks. But
based off what facts?
Nothing. I told you. There's nothing there. I don't know. I'm admitting I don't know.
You're going based off vibes and feels.
Vibes, feel,
That's
Honolulu Blue. Now, let me tell you this, though. I don't want that to happen. What I want to see happen is I want to see a 3-tutty, 275 from Jordan Love.
Ooh, put it on the show. Is this you?
I want him to put on a show. I want a Sunday Night Football show. You know what I've been seeing? I've been seeing Josh Allen. I've been seeing Lamar Jackson. I'm seeing all these guys do different things, and I want Jordan Love to have that moment. I've been wanting. How many times I picked like every 4 weeks where I'm like, hey,
this is it.
On Monday, when they turn on the TV and you see, the talking heads that make a lot more money than us, like a Stephen A. on First Take, Get Up, Greeny. I want the first segment and the second segment and the third segment and the fourth segment to be all about how scary Jordan Love showing he can be, putting the Packers closer to that first tier of NFC teams. That's what I want.
They got to get up early. They got to start because you can't get down going to that atmosphere.
And that's why I said that first drive is going to be critical. First drive. You hear your first drive is critical for the Packers to get
fast
where they need to go against the Seattle Seahawks. Thanks for hanging out all week. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace out. Homer in. 5 to 6 in 2 minutes. Next.
Southbound on 894. Going to see some